The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Trade request? Rich Cimini says Garrett Wilson's camp would not be surprised if Garrett requests a trade. I'm not buying it. We'll talk about that and more. It's the Jake Asman Show, and it starts right now.
But I'm just saying here, setting the record straight, this show is about positivity and having a good time and yucking it up. I love this show. I do this shit for free.
Yeah.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk Jets each and every day. Quick reminder, any Jet fan who has extra tickets they're not using for the game on Sunday and you want to donate it to your fellow Jet fan, please let me know. We have a bunch of people who can use the tickets and will brave the weather conditions, the cold, 25-degree projected temperatures, and want to go to the game. Ideally, we'll give them to people who could take a kid, people who could take someone who maybe has never been, or a veteran as well. So I've given away, I think, 8 tickets so far. Thank you to everyone who's donated. And if you have any extras and you want to contribute, please reach out to me. My email is in the description box for the video, or you can shoot me a message on Twitter or Instagram at Jake Asman. We will do a raffle a little bit later on in the show. Thank you to everyone who gifted a membership. All the names are in here. We got 2 big prizes we're giving away. The Jet surfboard will be up for grabs, and the Super Bowl III photo in mint condition, which you can hang in the man cave. That will be up for grabs as well. Every membership gifted during this show will go towards our next crop of prizes. The grand prize, an autographed trading card by Jets legend himself, Zach Wilson. This was a gag gift for my Christmas. And I will not put anyone through the hell that you went through watching Zach Wilson play football. So I'm just kidding. But I do have an assortment of trading cards featuring legendary Jets and current Jets, and a $50 gift card to Copper John's. Those will be 2 of the next prizes coming up in the raffle. All right. With that said, let's get into this story out today that you're now going to see everywhere. People can't wait to opine on it and run with it. That Garrett Wilson might request a trade. Now, Garrett Wilson himself hasn't said that. This was Rich Cimini on his Flight Deck podcast.
Talk to people in Garrett Wilson's circle. They think, now I want to emphasize this is speculation on their part. They think he will ask for a trade after the season. Again, speculative by people who know him. We don't know that to be a fact.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? That quote from Rich is being aggregated as if, breaking news, Garrett Wilson wants out. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Garrett Wilson's definitely a Jet next year, that he's definitely going to go out there and not request a trade, or he is going to request a trade. But really, this is what we're talking about? People, not Garrett Wilson, but people associated with him think he might request a trade? That's what we're talking about? Come on. That's ridiculous to me that this is even as big of a story as seemingly some think it is. Couple things with this. How do we sit here and talk about a player demanding a trade when we don't know who the GM, the head coach, or who the quarterback is next year? We have no clue. And this is the first offseason that Garrett Wilson is eligible for an extension. How do we know Garrett Wilson's requesting a trade before the Jets go to him and say, we want to pay you. We think you're the right guy. We're going to make you a captain. We want you here for the long haul. We're extending you. Garrett Wilson's the type of guy you pay, no matter who your GM is or your quarterback or your head coach. Anyone who knows anything about football will look at Garrett Wilson's production, his durability, his leadership, his attitude, his want to win. That's the guy you pay. So I think as we sit here and talk about Garrett requesting a trade on December 18th, it's absolutely ridiculous that anyone's going to assume it's going to happen. There's no head coach, no GM, no quarterback definitively in place for next year. And I believe Garrett Wilson's not going to request a trade if the Jets offer him a contract extension. And let's also call it for what it is. You guys know I love Garrett Wilson. I'm as big of a fan of his as anyone. The Jets have his rights. He could request a trade. They don't have to trade him. This is now the new move we see from athletes, especially football players, to try and get a contract. They request a trade basically to create headlines and put some pressure on the organization to do something, and it's all about getting paid. The latest example of this was Brandon Ayuk with the Niners. He requested a trade. Guess what? He never got traded. He got paid. Deebo Samuel, same team, same exact playbook. Garrett Wilson's going into his 4th year. The Jets have his 4th year and the 5th year option and the franchise tag. If they really wanted to be obnoxious and play hardball, they can for multiple years. It's not like he's a free agent. It's not like he has a contract where there's a stipulation that the Jets can't use the tag on him, like Tom Brady had put in for his last year in New England. So the Jets could play hardball if it ever got to that point, which I don't think it's going to. I think you extend Garrett Wilson. He's about to go over 1,000 yards for the 3rd year in a row. This is silly. The first thing a new Jets GM should do is extend Garrett and send a message that, hey, he is a believer in this player and him being one of the leaders on this team moving forward. You don't trade Garrett Wilson, you extend him. And Garrett Wilson has never said anything publicly that he wants to be traded. In fact, he's on the record saying the total opposite. So just because this is now being speculated, Garrett's emotional and he's frustrated on the sideline, and people in his camp think he's going to request a trade. I mean, you know what could have happened? Garrett Wilson's pissed off how bad the season's been, and he's talking to his buddies, and he's all annoyed, saying, man, I don't want to be here. I can't take this anymore. And people in his camp are running with that too. Well, he's going to request a trade. We all say things we regret when we're angry or things we don't mean. We all do it. So, look, he's under contract for 2 more years. And I believe a new GM is going to offer him an extension. So I don't think this is a story. I really don't. At least not yet. It's a story when we have a head coach, a GM, a quarterback decision in place for next year. It's a story if he requests a trade and we find out the Jets even offered him a contract extension. Which, by the way, here's why I also would pay Garrett Wilson early. The money only goes up for receivers. It's become a premium position. And I think Garrett Wilson's probably going to be asking for something in between what Amon-Ra St. Brown just got, Amon-Ra St. Brown from the Lions, and what we saw Jalen Waddle sign with the Dolphins. St. Brown signed a 4-year, $120 million contract, $16.5 million in signing bonus, $77 million guaranteed. You look at the other contract that I referenced, Jalen Waddle. Waddle signed a 3-year extension for $84.75 million that tacked on the last year of his rookie contract. So he signed through 2028 at a total value of $104.6 million. You pay the guy. Offer Garrett Wilson 4 years, $110 million and get it done. Like, that's what we're talking about here. This is the guy you pay. All right? If he stays a Jet, he will have every Jet record in franchise history. Don't screw this up. This franchise can never draft high-level skill players. They got it right with Garrett. You don't trade them. You pay them. You extend them. The money only goes up, and money talks. Athletes, yeah, they want to win. They also want to be paid. Garrett's on a rookie deal. You pay him. This is a non-starter. Pay Garrett Wilson. I don't buy this notion, that he's going to request a trade. Maybe, but are we really going to do this based on Rich Cimini saying that people in Garrett Wilson's camp expect him? Not that he's going to, it's they expect him to. I mean, I would hate if people in my camp are talking behind my back to reporters, talking about things they expect me to do. How would they know? I'm not buying it, man. And this only happens in the New York market, by the way, this type of story. This doesn't happen in other cities, believe me. I did afternoon drive in the fourth biggest city in the country for 6 years down there. I did radio and 3 an afternoon drive. And guess what? This doesn't happen in Houston. It doesn't. So, I mean, people in his camp think he will request a trade. That we're running with that. We're aggregating that on Dobe Kleeman and his bullshit Twitter account and all this other nonsense that Garrett wants out. I mean, come on. I think Garrett, just like all of us, is pissed off with losing. I don't blame him, but that's why I want to pay him. Because I think he's a guy who could be here to see this thing turn around. Garrett Wilson is Mike Evans at the beginning of his career in Tampa. And Mike Evans stuck it out. He's going to the Hall of Fame, and he's got a ring on his finger. Not too shabby. So this idea that Garrett needs to get away from the Jets to be able to have this great career, if Garrett Wilson plays his whole career with the Jets, he'll get his name in the Ring of Honor. He'll break every record in franchise history, and he'll be a god amongst this city and this fan base, period. So we could stop with is he going to request a trade? Is he not? Can we get to the offseason first? We still got 3 games left, man. 3 games to go. I'm not buying it. And if you're the Jets, you don't trade him even if he asks out. You give him the extension. He's going to take it, and that's it. We really think Garrett Wilson's going to be this bad guy? He's going to go out there and be a bad teammate or not try if he doesn't get his way? We really think that's what's going to happen here? I don't. And I'm not saying I know Garrett Wilson all that well, but I've met him a handful of times. I spent 4 hours with him in a suite last year at a Knicks game. He's not that guy. He's a good dude, a good teammate. And his frustration and anger, I like seeing that. He still cares. Him being pissed off against the Jaguars on Sunday, that's better than not caring, showing no emotion. And look, Garrett's got to mature a little bit too, right? You don't always want these outbursts on the sideline and whatnot, but I'll take that over a guy who doesn't care. He's young. I think sometimes we forget these guys are kids, and they're put in the spots where they're having millions of dollars in their pockets and the spotlight on them, and they're kids. Garrett's 24 years old. He was born in 2000. Everyone take a breath. All right. If the Jets hire the right head coach and the right GM, not only is Garrett Wilson getting extended, but they're going to win. They're going to turn it around. Mike Evans had to wait, and eventually it paid off. And I doubt he regrets a damn thing. I know he doesn't. He's talked about it. Guys want to win. They also want to be paid. And the leverage the Jets have is being able to extend them. And if he says, nah, trade me. Okay, well, you're under contract for next year and the following year, and we have the franchise tag. What, are you not going to play? How'd that work for Hassan Reddick? How'd it work this year for Jamar Chase? He wanted the new deal. He never got it. He showed up and played. Give me a break, man. Garrett Wilson's a winner. You pay him. End of story. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Excited to announce our brand new Edgemo. A brand new channel emoji has been added. Peter Castro. Don Castro. Officially added to the arsenal. Shout out to Peter for all the support. A well-deserved channel emoji for one of the great Asmaniacs out there. Mickey with a super chat. He cuts the line. Not only would I pay Garrett, but I'd name him captain. He cares about winning. Solid just gave out season. People didn't earn it. Zach Wilson. Well, the players vote on it, but the quarterback's always the captain. That's just how it works. But Garrett Wilson should be a captain. I agree. Mr. Reality is back with more nonsense. Garrett does not give a damn about a Ring of Honor. I didn't say he does. I just told you why the Jets should see the value in keeping him. He's a phenomenal player who's breaking team records already through his first 3 years. And if he stays a Jet, he'll go down as maybe their prolific wide receiver ever. And there's a guy in the Hall of Fame named Don Maynard. That's what we're talking about here. I mean, come on now. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Peter Castro says, Jake, I got my hat and mug. Let's go, Castro. There you go. You deserve it. I want to give a shout out to David. He just got a raffle ticket in his name. He became an official channel member.
It's the Maniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Let's go, baby. Get them raffle tickets in. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in live right now. We're going to get to your calls coming up. Reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the channel and join the Patreon. You'll gain access to our private Discord chat. You'll get bonus shows that are not on YouTube, discounts on all items in the merch store, and it's a great way to support me. Your name in the intro, all that and more. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And now Patreon has a feature where you can actually gift memberships to people. So perhaps you know a Jet fan in your life that wants to be an Asmaniac. You can get them a gift of a membership through Patreon. Check it out, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. All right, let's get to some of your calls here. First up on our Gusbuster Umbrella hotline is a guy who was freaking out in the aforementioned Discord earlier. Matthias, we're coming to you first. What's up, Matthias?
What's up, Jake? How's it going?
Have you calmed down a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. First off, I just wanted to say, Keith, we're all thinking about you down here, man. It really hurts, but you know what? Cancer didn't win. Keith battled as much as he could, and we're all thinking about you, buddy, and your family. Rest in peace, Keith. And hopefully one day when the Jets win the Super Bowl, that Super Bowl will be for you, Keith, and the rest of the Asmaniacs. So just wanted to say that first.
Absolutely. Well said.
My next point is, when I was watching Jet Central on one of his videos, he talked about how there was, during the hiring or the interviews for the GM spot, one of the names that he was bringing up, that the Jets were looking at Mike Greenberg, who's supposed to be a capologist for the Buccaneers, and a
TV host on ESPN.
Yeah, TV host on ESPN. Same name. It's wild. But for this guy, it just scared me, Jake, because I just get horrible flashbacks from the Itzik days. I don't want, even if it's a speculation, even if it's just a rumor floating around, I don't want a cap guru to be the next GM. We've already tried that with Itzik. It was a disaster. I want a GM that knows how to win football games, that can get the right talent in here to lead us to win a Super Bowl. That's what I'm looking for. So when I heard that, I immediately just panicked, freaked out, and I was just getting flashbacks of Itzik. So it was horrible with that. And to your next point, when it came to Garrett Wilson, yes, I was freaking out. I'm worried that, there was rumors going around that Garrett Wilson wants to request a trade. But to your point, it's just speculation. We don't know. I'm not going to freak out anymore until, whatever happens. But I will say, I don't blame Garrett for being frustrated with how bad this franchise has been, because he wants to win like all of us.
Of course.
So, it is what it is. I'm just not going to listen to the noise anymore until whatever happens.
You realize how difficult it would be for him to force a trade, though? You realize that, right?
Yeah.
And we see this now a lot. Guys request a trade. Then guess what? They don't get traded. They get extended, or they play on their current deal.
Right. Absolutely. So another thing, when I was before you came on, I was talking to Rob V, responding to some of his comments about Vrabel, and Allen saying that he wants to go to Ohio. It's just speculation, guys. We don't know until it happens. Just like how we were saying how the Jets should be a good team for Vrabel to go on. We just don't know at the end of the day. So I'm tired of hearing Allen, as much as I respect and like Allen, just saying, oh, he's going to go to Columbus, he's going to go to Ohio, he's going to go to Ohio State. I'm tired of it. We don't know for a fact until whatever happens. I'm wishing the best. I hope we get the GM right. I want the head coach right. Jake, it was good talking to you. Keith, rest in peace. And Keith, best. This is for you, man.
Matthias, great call. Wild facial hair, man. Honestly, I hope you win the Copper John's gift card in the next giveaway. Because, man, I'd like to see you spend some money on some mustache wax with that gift card. That would look tremendous. But anyway, look, the Greenberg guy in Tampa, I know he got his start as a cap guy, but my understanding is he does a little more than that. That said, talk to him. I'm not going to place judgment on him until we hear more about him, if we learn more about him. I do know this. I have been told his family watches the show. Greenberg grew up a Jet fan. He's from Merrick, Long Island, or Belmar. They went to Kennedy High School, which is where my mom is from. So I do know that. So from that standpoint alone, if he gets an interview, that's a cool local story, no doubt. Wilfredo with a super chat. Rodgers just said he's willing to take a pay cut if he comes back to the Jets. Yeah, he said he's open to everything, including redoing his contract again, which I'm telling you, if that is the direction a new GM and head coach want to go down, the sell to Rodgers is, if you redo your deal to help us with the dead cap beyond 2025, we could bring Devontae back. I think Aaron would be on board with that scenario, potentially, assuming he wants to play, which he said he's going to take time after the season and decide. I think he still wants to play personally. I don't think this is going to be 2-month-long process where we don't know. He's going to have to give them an answer or they're going to move on. We're not going to play games. It's either you let us know you want to play or not. And I like Aaron. I hope he's back, assuming he's healthy and plays well down the stretch. My preference going through the options is Rodgers is the bridge next year on a rework contract. That remains my preference. I think it gives the Jets the best chance to win. But it's not like we're moving mountains to make that happen, It's a different set of circumstances. Rich writes in, hit the like. Amen. Amen. Hit the like button if you're a real Jet fan. Wild Wave says you can't force someone to stay. Jamar Chase actually showed up. You can't force someone to stay, but money talks. Why do you think Hassan Reddick eventually showed up? Why do you think Jamar Chase showed up before week 1? When the NFL and the NFLPA agreed to the new CBA, they basically made it impossible for a player to hold out. That's why the Reddick stuff was such a big deal, because the guy was one of the biggest morons, I would say, in the history of sports. And I'm not menacing my words. He's a moron. His own agency fired him. That's all you need to know. Agents don't fire star football players. That's not how that works. They only do that if they think it's reached the point where the client is so delusional they can't help them anymore. You don't see players hold out. So let's say Garrett did request a trade and the Jets were like, we have no intention to trade you. Eventually he's going to have to play. And now you don't want that to be the thing. You want him to be paid, happy, be a leader. But I that's why I hate even having this conversation now. I don't think we're anywhere near this being a thing. There's no GM for next year or coach or quarterback. You mean to tell me if the Jets hire Mike Vrabel, he's going to be like, bad move, Jets. I want to leave. I'm just using Vrabel as an example, but maybe he likes Aaron Glenn or Brian Flores or Liam Cohen, the Bucs offensive coordinator, is going to come in. He sits down with Garrett and goes, watch what we're going to be able to do with you. You watch Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in our offense this year. Watch this. Everyone take a breath. Number one Austrian Jet fan has just been making it rain here on one spot. Boom. All right, here we go. Listener David is the recipient of the membership. That's now 2 raffle tickets for our next raffle. If you're tuning in late, the raffle for the surfboard and the Super Bowl III photo is coming up. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Holy hell. Andrew Fialco in the house. A 5 spot of channel memberships. Andrew, stop spending all your allowance money.
It's the Maniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Shout out to Fialco. Check the film review out yesterday with Andrew. He brought it. It was awesome. These are 5 memberships courtesy of the Andrew Fialco, Nick Russo, Andrew Bach, Rob Granew, Edward Salins, Avats, and ISU RB4L. Let's give ISU some props. He was the first caller on this show to suggest the Jets should take Braylon Allen last year. Guess what? Pretty good pick. Pretty good pick. Nick Shine in the house with a super chat. If Bobby loses enough weight, could he replace Garrett Wilson? Hashtag Bobby's down 9. Hashtag down with Allen. You know what, Nick? You bring up some good points. Some salient points. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to the one, the only, big fella. He's next. What's up, big fella?
Hey, man. I heard that Garrett Wilson's uncle's father's nephew's wife's cousin told me that he likes blue cheese instead of ranch on his wings. So I think that's about the same amount of validity in that as what Cimini had to say. And I'm really down on the beat writers, man. I've been down on the beat writers for a while because it seems like they forgot that part of their job is reporting and they're trying to sensationalize stuff. So I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like Garrett maybe, in a quiet moment was pissed off and said, I'm done. I don't want to be like, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
things change. You get to the offseason. You remember how pissed off he was last year too. And then,
yeah, I mean, the kid wants to
win.
Yeah.
He played at Ohio State. He probably lost 3 total games in like 4 years there, 3 years there. Like he wants to win games, man. I understand his frustration.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, all right, the Jets aren't having a good season. Let's try and create a story. Let's try and create some type of drama. It's what these beat writers do, and it's like, that's why it's hard to play here because you got to deal with their crap too. I mean, it's not just everything that goes with playing in New York. You have to deal with these people asking you questions and trying to find something to get you on, and I can't stand him. I really can't stand like Cimini with the Tippmann thing back in the day, back over the summer, and now this and stuff like that. He should know better. He's been around a long time. Dick Cimini is starting to become a pain in the ass. So
what did he say about Tippmann? He called him
Yipman because he missed a couple snaps.
He called him like Yipman. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he snapped a little high.
That's not why I think Cimini could maybe rub some people the wrong way at times. I like forgotten about that like snarky comment. That's kind of what they all do though. They're all, they're not fans though. That's the thing. They're not fans of the team. They're just, and all they see is losing football. So they're not going to like be thrilled to go to work every day. Like, I'm not saying it's right, but I just, that's like, I think people confuse beat reporters for like talk show hosts or like what I do. Like,
right.
I'm a Jet fan. I'll never be on the Jets beat. I would never want to do that. You got to be objective or you lose your fandom. Like, that's not, so I think people just lump the beat reporters sometimes with like other people who are in the media and be like, well, why is Joe Beningo able to be so passionate and positive and be, well, I guess bad example, Joe's typically negative, but you get my point. Why is Joe able to be a fan and, and these guys aren't? It's a different role. If that makes sense.
But the thing is, they're supposed to report, not make shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, if you want to say the Tippmann joke was inappropriate, fine. I think Rich was just trying to be funny.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this too. You're supposed to have like legit sources when you're a reporter and stuff. And,
I don't question Rich getting like intel from someone in Garrett's camp. I question this now being like Garrett wants to be like Rich saying this on this podcast does not mean a damn thing that Garrett Wilson's now requesting a trade. It's December. Mm-hmm. It's premature to have any trade talk conversation when there's no GM, there's no head coach, there's no plan at quarterback. And this is now the first year Garrett Wilson is eligible to be extended. And if I were running the Jets, I would extend him. And I think Woody Johnson loves wide receivers and would be willing to pay Garrett Wilson too.
Yeah, no one's running the Jets now, though. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't have a GM. So, like I said earlier, the source, was just as valid as mine. The uncle's father's nephew's sister's cousin. It's the same thing. Well,
where Cimini went to school.
No, where'd he go?
He went to Ted U. He went to Ted U.
Where's that?
It's down in Florida. It's where you learn how to stir the pot.
Oh, okay. Ted U. I get it. All right, man. Well, that's all I had to say. Screw the beat writers, man. Costello too. He's a pain in the ass. But anyway, have a good night, pal.
Big fella, all the love. One of the greats. Let's see. Super chat from C, who checks in. Non-story. Garrett Wilson said less than a month ago to Kaz he wants to be a Jet long-term and win in New York. Say what you want about Woody, but he's not dumb enough to let him walk out the door easily. Yeah, I mean, look, he even if you request a trade, it does not mean that he's being traded. Let's remember that. C writes in, Rich should ask him on his next media availability. He'll probably talk tomorrow or Friday. Let's see if someone asked him. They should ask him that. So if the Beat's doing their job, that's a question I believe should be asked, right? Hey, it was reported that people in your camp expect you to request a trade. Is this true? That's all you ask, and let them answer. Kakuka Lake Jet fan, send Allen to the hole. Well, I'll tell you what. There is a bounty on Allen's head because he's annoying. So YouTube, for those who missed it, I talked about it on the first show. They now have added a new feature where you could have super chat goals. So I set a goal of 10 teal super chats, and then we send Allen to the hole. We have 3 of the 10 needed so far. It's 10 teal super chats, which I think is $5 or more. So we have 47 minutes and 32 seconds. So it's a new way to do bounties on this show. And I thought there's nobody better than Allen to put the inaugural bounty on. Sean Payton would be proud. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Chef Kevin in the house. He says, I would hire Ted to help stir our house-made beef chili. Rocking the Cloverleaf Tavern for you, Chef Kev. Love it. Raffle coming up if you're tuning in late. So stay tuned for that. We'll announce the winners in a bit. Let's say hello right now to David Aaron, who's next. Hey, David.
How you doing, Jake? At the end of the last show, Bobby called me out for something that I said or did, and I'm here to work it out with Bobby. Bring on an Asmaniac Rumble, and if you're up for it, I'm up for it.
What did you say that ruffled his feathers? I don't remember.
I don't know. That's why we need to ask Bobby.
Well,
he's not sitting in the green room.
What, did you write a comment and he said something on air?
He must have said something on air, and I replied, and I don't know.
Well, I feel like you got to have more information before we rumble here. This is like a false rumble.
Oh, okay. Well,
what did you write that Bobby responded to?
He didn't say.
Right, but what are you calling it about in the first place?
I know that Bobby gets upset when people say certain things, and
right. But what did you say that got him upset?
Show their face.
Right,
I don't know.
I know what he does, but what did he?
That's the whole thing. I don't know.
But what? I feel like I'm being trolled here.
I don't know.
What did you post?
Can I suggest instead of butter? I don't know. All right. While we're here, can I suggest that instead of butter, maybe he uses olive oil? That would be
sure.
Maybe less egregious. Okay. Well, I'll sit in the green room, and if he comes on and wants to talk about it, I'm still here.
All right, thank you, David. I don't understand that call. We can't just force a rumble. The rumble naturally happens in the chat or when someone bashes someone else on air. You called in and said Bobby basically gets mad and he rumbles with people, which is true, but you didn't say anything to get him mad personally at you. So that's what I'm not understanding here. It organically happens. We don't just force it. That was interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is the Czar of Butter.
No, I remember the first show. He had very bad takes in the chat. I was
about you though. He didn't say that.
He said a lot of things that I did not like about people in the chat. So
why didn't he just say that?
I don't know. He's probably losing his memory. He's older than I am. Maybe he's old. Maybe he's senile. I don't know. He likes to type in chat all the time.
David, are you senile?
I think he is.
I might be. How would I know?
Because you don't
would
remember
forget.
I don't remember what you typed in, but I didn't like the shit.
But then I could also drink from my Jake Asman cup and feel smart.
Good. I'm so happy you could do that. You want a cookie for that?
It is a great
You want
cup.
a cookie? You want a cookie?
All right, I've heard enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Want a cookie?
How you doing, Bobby?
Not very good. What you wrote, I don't know.
I don't know what I wrote. Why don't you fill me in?
Well, you really pissed me off. I forgot, but you really pissed me off.
Oh. I'm sorry,
Just
Bobby.
keep your comments to your damn self. If you want to come on and chat, that's fine. Show your face once in a while. Stop typing all that shit in chat. I don't like people when they do that, okay?
I'm sorry I pissed you off, Bobby. I hope you lose the weight and you get your life straight.
You talked about other people in the chat too. Stop it. Okay? You understand it? Okay? Yeah. Where you from?
The last time I was in the U.S., I was in Syosset.
Where you now?
I haven't been in there since the last 45 years.
Where you now?
Well, we recently had rain of missiles.
Oh, Israel?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That wasn't a rumble. What are we doing here? We don't even know what David wrote. It would help if the chat was aware of what we were even arguing about. Bobby said he didn't remember himself, and then he did the classic. So where you from? And then at that point, the rumble's it's done. All right, it's over. But it did provide a very unique entertainment. So I guess thank you for that to both David and Bobby. Kakuka Lake Jetfed says, send Alan to the hole. Well, I can tell you right now, we are 5 teal super chats away from Alan being sent to the hole as our first ever bounty with YouTube's goals here. The Killer Cub with a $10 super chat. I love your show, Jake. It's like dinner for schmucks, but better. And put this towards BMAC to the whole fund. Well, today we're doing Alan, but I do appreciate the sentiment. Thank you for watching. Andy checks in with a super chat. Rich Cimini is known for stirring the pot. I don't trust this report at all. Who are his sources? Garrett's dry cleaner. Well, look. Rich Cimini learned from the best when it comes to stirring the pot. He went to Ted U. All right? Florida Ted taught him everything. So keep that in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, a raffle will be done coming up. So stay tuned for that. Right now, let's say hello to the Hamburger who joins us now. Hello, Hamburger. What did you make of that rumble, I guess?
I'd like to wish David luck on the missiles raining down from wherever he's from, whether it's Ukraine or Israel or someplace. So bless and good luck dodging. So I don't have much to say about that rumble. I didn't really get what it was about.
I thought Bobby had the best line of the rumble, though, when he said, you want a cookie. I enjoyed that one.
Yes. Bobby makes me laugh. Listen, I want to touch on the this whole Garrett Wilson thing. You know, it is what it is. He may have said something like that, but he also might be trolling for some more money to get a contract next year. I mean, he said many times he loves being a Jet. And, you know, you can't – I think you hit it on the head with, like, the guys like Cimini and them. They're not fans. They're not me. They're not you. They're not going to put positive spin on everything because it's the team that they write. And they're going to want to publish stories. If they hear rumors, they're going to want to get it out there because it's interaction. It's, you know, it makes headlines. And look, here we are talking about it on your show. You know what I mean? I wouldn't worry about Garrett. I think he's going to be here for a long time. I'm not nervous about it. He ain't going to hold out. But I mean, look, just look at what Reddick did. You think that's a good enough lesson for him to learn right there, what not to do. So I don't think we're going to get any crazy scenario with him. Once we get in our new regime, we'll see where it goes. You know, you're talking about, you know, February, March. We'll start, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll offer a contract to him. I think they need to sign him long term. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't look into it that much.
Yeah, I just don't think it's anything to be worried about right now. Like,
No.
let's get a GM, coach, quarterback situation figured out. And then when they're evaluating the roster, Garrett Wilson would be a guy you'd want to keep.
Right away. I want to lock him up right away. Out of all the players on the team, he's the one I want to lock up. He's the one I want the most, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And Aaron taking time off, he'll have to be quick about it. He won't have time. There's not going to be any darkness retreat. No one's going to be waiting on, the hands and feet to see where Aaron's coming. I think once the coach comes back, once we get our coach and our GM, that'll be relayed to him immediately, and he'll get X amount of time, make his decision, and we'll know right away. I don't think it's going to drag on very long. Got to be before the draft too, I think.
Well, I think if it's the right coach too, like that might energize Aaron to be like, yeah, like I don't want to go out this way. It's Mike Vrabel. Hell yeah, I know the guy. I have a relationship with him. I'm in.
I agree. I think that a lot has to do with who we pick as a coach. So, but listen, enjoy the rest of the evening. Great, grab my daughter. So,
Hamburger,
see you guys later.
Keep up the great work. Another good call by the Hamburger. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping we get a Peter Castro call at some point today on the day his channel emoji, created by the great Gator McCluskey, was added to the arsenal. Let's say hello right now to NYC2SRQ. What's up, NYC?
How you doing, Jake? How's everything?
What's up, man? I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, just to let you know, not only Cimini put it out there, but looks like your boy over at Jets X Factor also put it out there, and I'm assuming he's probably got it from the same report as well.
What do you mean?
I did get a notification from Jets X Factor that
they probably covered it because it's a newsy story, but like they're not putting it out there. Like it's not them confirming it. They're just I haven't read the article, but I imagine they're just saying, according to Rich Cimini, this is what happened.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yep.
Yep.
So my question to you is: do you think it's gonna be another Keyshawn Johnson thing?
I don't. I think Keyshawn was a different set of circumstances too. He was also further along in his career then, and also, if you remember, the CBA was a lot different back then. Like you had holdouts way more frequently, and and Keyshawn was also more of a diva than Garrett was, and Garrett's been. Garrett didn't write a book saying Garrett hasn't written a book that says "throw me the damn ball" and threw teammates under the bus.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that damn book. But yeah, I agree. I think it's just going to be mismatched. I think he's going to be a Jet for life. I agree with Hamburger. He'll be a Jet for life as long as they give him the money. And I think based on my question I gave yesterday, how much you think Garrett Wilson is worth? I agree. 4 years, 5 years, $105 million. At least that's the starting point. And then you build around him, and obviously you build around Breece Hall and Allen. And if Breece Hall doesn't want to stay, at least we have Allen as well. So, but I definitely think that we need a go-to wide receiver, and I believe Garrett Wilson, if he had a competent quarterback, the 3 years he was here, I think he would probably have just as good as numbers as the guy in Cincinnati. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade him. I mean, I would extend him.
No way.
They don't have to trade him. Now, there is a very interesting question from Tom Ace here for you, NYC. Where did the top half of your mustache go?
It's here. It's here. It's got a little in the bottom here. That's okay.
It looks good. I like it.
That's how the wife likes it.
Hey, you got to get in the raffle for one of our prizes for the next one is the Copper John's $50 gift card, Copper John's Beer Company.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I gotta get that just for men too. I gotta make myself look like I'm 30, not 40. So
you look tremendous, NYC. Keep it up.
Thanks, boss. I appreciate it, Jake. I'll let you go. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And let's go Jets. So
hey, let's go Jets. Well said. Maybe they'll win Sunday. 2 in a row. Let's see. Nate writes in, when I go to Latino barbershops, I have to say in 4 languages, don't give me the Hispanic thin mustache. Interesting comment there from Nate. What barbershop do you go to on the Upper West Side, Nate? Boomtown, who's our resident historian, the guy who tracks the show, documents it. He writes in, Jake, the closest I could get to understanding the Bobby David issue is this. David said, cut out the baloney, Bobby. To which Bobby said, David, Aaron, you should be quiet. You got bad takes, boy. Well, that has to be it. Why couldn't either of them have just said that? And this was on the most recent show today, Boomtown. Boomtown's really incredible, man. I mean, nobody documents the show quite like Boom. Peter writes in all caps, where's Steve Parles? Jeff Parles is unavailable today. He had a last-second broadcasting conflict that came up, so he was unable to join us. Tom Ace writes in, beef has been squashed. Bobby asked where David was from, so it's all good now. Pretty much. Jay Quest writes in, Bobby calling people boys, very Ron the Jet fan. Jay Quest says, Bobby is too sensitive. Sounds like we might have a potential beef brewing here between Bobby and Jay Quest. The Hamburger with a $5 super chat. To the whole Alan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 4 teal super chats away from Alan being sent to the hole. And we have 31 minutes and 40 seconds to do it if you're watching live right now. Our first ever bounty, as YouTube has created a new feature called Goals for Super Chats. And they write, what does the audience get if they reach the goal? And I'm like, send Alan to the hole. Bounty gate, bitch. And here we go. Nate says just call it green. A teal. YouTube calls it teal. I don't know. I guess it looks green too. It looks like money. That's what it looks like. All right, we'll do one more call with Philly Noodles, and then it's raffle time. Philly, what do you got?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Not much. First off, I think.
Hold on, breaking news. Chef Kevin contributing to the Allen Hole Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 of our 10 super chats needed to put the bounty on Allen. Continue.
We should have did a Ted bounty. I mean, Ted bounty's got to be next. It's got to happen. First off, no one on the show gets me. Like, he really, he gets me aggravated because he doesn't do it on one show. He does it on multiple shows. Terrible takes. Right now, he's probably brewing in Florida with all the musty heat, some more trash to bring up.
2 away.
Against all trades. The breaking news is going to happen. Hold on a second. Look, I'm obsessed with him. This dude is tripping. You have such terrible takes. It's like this. Oh, God, it's disheartening.
Also, for those saying Alan is not here, don't worry. Any show I see him on in the future, it'll be retroactive to that one. So you'll get an Alan free show, folks. Pretty incredible.
You can't be a diehard Jets fan and say, I want all old-time Jets people to run the show only, and I'm discrediting any future players.
Yeah, baby. Matthias is in. We're 1 away. 1 away. One.
This is really happening
green
live.
Super chat or higher from victory, from glory, from a whole punishment for Allen.
All right, so I just wanted to get back in real quick. I know this is going to happen on air. When I told you I was at the bar and I sat next to Garrett Wilson's father, like, that was legit. And he spoke about how he was indifferent with the season and how, but I mean, they keep a pretty close, tight knit. Like, his father was a professional athlete. So what my thing is, he's not from the type of ilk of people who are just going to spew crap out of their mouth. Like, things he will say are credited. He's not going to get caught off guard saying the wrong things. He did feel that stench when he commented a few weeks back. It feels like there's in the genetics and in DNA that it's a losing franchise. That's why you're bringing in someone in to usher something different. I think he'll rally behind that. He'll get paid. I wouldn't be worried about getting paid if you're a competitor, you want to win first.
Philly, thank you for the time. I agree. But there's some things that are bigger than any call on the show. And that is sending Allen to the hole. Big fella with a bonus super chat. Allen Vols by 50. We're going to have a back-to-back sequence here that will be an all-time moment in show history. Allen officially, someone says he's not in the chat. If that's true, then next time he is, automatic sentence to the hole. Allen, farewell.
Now look what you've done, Allen. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Bounty Gate has been complete. Allen was in the chat earlier, though, so I guess he left. So basically, he's like, oh, well, you can't put me in the hole if I'm not here. See? Well, guess what, Allen? You're addicted to the show. You need it. So we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. when I'm live, or 4 p.m., or any other day. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The raffle of all raffles. We're doing them all month long. We've given away some jerseys. We've given away some merch. We've given away some Jet photos. And we got 2 prizes for this one, plus third place prize will be an item from the merch store. First prize is the New York Jets surfboard, which I will mail to you. You can hang it up. Shout out to listener John for sending this to me a while ago to use for a potential giveaway. And our second prize, they're both first place level prizes, but that's the order we're doing it, is the Super Bowl III photo here for you to put in your man cave. So, with that said, it is time, folks. And I forgot to do music last time to add some dramatic effect. So we're doing it this time. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. All right. Make sure we mix it up here. Here we go, the bucket of champions. I like it better than the fishbowl, to be honest with all of you. The winner of the New York Jets surfboard is listener Tyrone. Hey, Tyrone's awesome. He calls the radio show all the time. He super chats all the time. Tyrone, congrats to you. You are the big winner here. I believe Tyrone lives in California, so it's actually fitting that a guy in California won the surfboard. So Tyrone is our first winner. And now, let's get back into it. The bucket of champions. It is time. Let's move the ticket out of the way for Tyrone here. Hold on. Super Bowl III trophy. All right, Super Bowl III photo, excuse me. And the winner is oh God, I grabbed 2. Hold on. I grabbed 2 here. They were stuck together. How do I do this? How do I do this? I have controversy here. Hold on. I screwed this up. I don't want any rigged allegations here. I screwed this up. These 2 things are tied together here. There's 2 names on these tickets here. I see one of them. I don't know who won the other one. So I'm going to need the Asmaniacs to decide how we do this. Do we start over? Do I give one person the win and the other person third place? I don't want anyone saying it's rigged. I don't want anyone saying it's unfair. What do I do? I'm seeing a lot of mixed opinions here in the chat. I need an arbiter. I need the people I trust the most, like Boomtown. He says take them both. If I take them both, though, Boom, what do we do? What do we do? I only have one Super Bowl III photo. Controversy here, folks. A lot of people saying redraw. I'll do a redraw. That's probably fair, right? I won't even say who won, so nobody knows. Nobody feels cheated. That's probably the other way to do this. All right, we're doing a redraw. They're going back in. Here we go. Let's make sure they're not stuck together. Redraw is probably the fairest way. I do agree with that. Someone ripped the photo in half. Snowball, you're funny. Ladies and gentlemen, our new winner is listener. I forgot the music, big fella. Damn it. Hey, listener Peter Castro, which makes sense because he had like 70 of like the 150 memberships, and Peter's actually on the line. Peter, you won the photo. Congrats.
Oh, great.
You seem thrilled.
I am. I'm thrilled.
I'm
thrilled.
That's awesome. Well, I'm happy you won here. It is certainly deserved. On a day you got your emoji too, so that's awesome. This will be coming your way.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, the coffee mug came too. There you go. Love that. If only the Jets could win as much as you've won in the raffle these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they'd win everything.
All right, congrats to Tyro for the surfboard, and Peter. I will send this out to you guys tomorrow with Devin's Aaron Rodgers jersey. And if anyone knows who listener Jimmy is, who won one of the 2 Rodgers jerseys, I still haven't heard from him, so I'd like to send him his jersey as well, but I don't have his info yet. But continue, Peter. Go ahead.
I just wanted to send my condolences to the Keith Best family and wish them the best. And as far as what's his name, Garrett Wilson goes, he's not going anywhere. The Jets are never going to let him go. He's a number 1 receiver. I don't care what they say. And he's got the attitude I wish every player had. All he wants to do is win. Those are the kind of players you want.
I agree. And he's productive. It's not like he's been a bad teammate or anything. It's ever been a problem here. You pay him, a new coach comes in, GM, they identify him as one of their leaders. I'm not concerned in the slightest.
Also, Ted asked me to call in for some reason.
He probably wants your take on his takes.
They're terrible. His takes are awful.
What specifically do you think was the worst one?
Well, as far as him talking about them running the ball 300 times, who cares? As long as you're going to win, you do whatever you have to do to win. Throw, run. If running works for you, that's what you do.
I think Ted just is stirring the pot. He's doing what he was born to do.
Okay. Oh, well. Anyway,
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Peter, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Ted?
I'm doing great, Peter. So my take on Vrabel is in a modern offense. I'm not sure if he's the type of coach. He's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I never said he was a bad coach. I don't think he's the right coach for the Jets based on the culture and things like that. And I also did mention that in a modern offense, he leaned heavily on Derrick Henry. That was my point. I'm not sure he can run. I know he had Matt LaFleur or whatever he had, but they didn't run I didn't see them scoring 40 points a game. They ran Derrick Henry 300 times a year, a couple of years.
Yeah, but if anybody had Derrick Henry, they'd run him. He's probably at that time was the best running back in football. And whether you could win running or throwing, it doesn't matter as long as you win.
Right, but teams don't win like that anymore. That's my point.
Oh, you can win like that if you have the right group of characters on your team. You can win like that. If you can win with Tannehill, you can win with anybody because he stinks.
Well, the only team that I think that could win like that right now is the Steelers in the whole NFL. I don't think any other team can win like that.
You don't think with Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Jalen Allen that we can't win like that? I mean, it took as far as the Jets go, it took 8 or 9 weeks to get together with their offensive line, where any other team takes 4 or 5 weeks before they get together. But they do look a little bit better, but they're not running the ball at all. All they're doing is throwing the ball right now. But I think if the season started today, I think the Jets would be running the ball a lot more. You got the backs. Why wouldn't you do it?
Could be. I'm looking at Mateus. It's okay, man. I can, everyone has their opinion, and that's what makes a show great. And, if people can't deal with it, that's their effing problem.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Yo,
hey.
Hand up. I hit
What's
the
up, Mike?
wrong button. It was supposed to be Asmaniac Rumble, but anyway, at this point, let him have it, Purple Belt. Mike, you're next.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? Yeah, Mike.
Dude. How can you say that about Vrabel when he had 2 offensive coordinators become head coaches?
I just explained. Matt LaFleur runs in a wide open offense. I mean, they're not exactly a run
So you're
heavy.
saying that offense can't be run on the Jets? How does that make sense? He's going to bring
I'm not
these
saying
guys
that at
in.
all. All I'm saying is everyone is anointing him as the number one candidate.
He is the
When
number
I
one
think
candidate because he's won games and he commands respect and he's won a Super Bowl. He checks every single
Vrabel?
box.
Oh, you mean as
Vrabel
a player?
played and he won a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. He knows what it takes. And he can
Okay.
relate to those guys because he was a player. He's not someone that's just X's and O's. Vrabel's the guy.
Well, so
As
could
much as I Ben
well.
Johnson and whatever, Vrabel is the guy to turn around the culture, to cut out the bullshit, the Diana Rossini bullshit, and whatever else. Vrabel is going to command respect, and he's going to command winning. He's not going to be around for the bullshit. He's not. I don't care who he has at quarterback. He's gonna get. We won. Well, I shouldn't say we. He won games with Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill's not a good quarterback.
So let me ask you a question. So you don't want to go the coordinator route and get a quarterback and start like most teams do. You want to run it back and take another gamble that we're gonna have success with Rodgers.
I am not a Rodgers guy because I don't think that he's good enough for the cap. But as Jake said before, that if he's willing to cut and alleviate that, now I'm interested because if he could be a bridge with a less of a cap hit and whatever else, then that's fine. Then that's good. But I don't want him if he's going to be like the $60 million or whatever to hinder us in the future. Because as I see it, our future is really where it's at. We're not going to win anything without a young quarterback. We're not. Unless Rodgers turns back the clock and we live in delusion land, which I don't think is going to happen. But I think he's good enough for us to make the playoffs maybe if we had a sound team. I mean, think about this for a second. We're 4-10, and how many games did we lose that were close? I'm not saying that we're going to be the opposite, 10-4, but we could be 7-7 right now easily if Rabel was the coach. With this team as
Maybe, but
is.
that doesn't get you in the playoffs either, though.
I know, but it's better than being the laughing stock of the NFL.
I know, but I mean, like, I want to be a consistent winner. Like,
Yeah,
say,
and I think he can do that. I think he can do
and the
that.
Lions, I mean, I'm tired of this.
If we get a first-time head coach, they're going to learn how to be a head coach. And they're going to make the mistakes that Salah made. And Dan Campbell, his first year, made mistakes. I love Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's great. But Dan Campbell does make mistakes, and he still makes mistakes. He cost the NFC Championship game last year because he's a newer coach. Vrabel's got the experience. See, I think Vrabel isn't that much different than Campbell. It's just that Campbell is way more aggressive. But their mentality, their presence in the locker room, what they can command, I think we need. We don't need a guy that has no experience and has to learn on the job. And now we're back to the solace,
I wanted Aaron Glenn. I wanted Aaron Glenn as part of it. Go ahead. What do you got, Peter?
That's a big mistake. Aaron Glenn over Rabel or Flores is ridiculous.
Flores good too. Peter, you're right. Flores good.
It's not even close, Ted. How could you possibly want a coach that's never been a head coach before? And if you look at their defense, it's all right. It's nothing to write home about.
Peter, that's what they say about a lot of franchises, that they want to go the young coach route. I mean, that's how you get a. That's how you build a
He's only
franchise.
54 years old.
I know, but what I'm saying is, they're looking. A lot of people are looking like for a 40-year-old coach that can be very creative, and he actually learned under Campbell. I mean, I like the ties. I really like the ties to the organization, and I like the fact that he's got to rebuild our defense. Our defense is got a lot of holes in it. Quite honestly, can't stop the run.
After 5 games, they'll run him out of New York. He's a rookie coach.
Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn.
Defensive tackle.
Aaron Glenn is not going to be the head coach. There's no way. No way.
You would rather Rex Ryan?
No.
Over
I
Vrabel?
would take Aaron Glenn, Rex Ryan, and Vrabel as my top 3 right now.
Well, Grable and Flores,
You
I
have
put
Rex
as 1 and 2.
over Vrabel?
I
How
would.
could you, how could you pick
Why?
him over
Rex had
Grable?
2 good seasons his
Boy,
entire
I feel
coaching
like
career.
I'm at a job interview. Holy moly.
Dude, and he hasn't done anything in decade plus.
Yeah, but okay, so my point with Rex is Rex has a lot of connections now in the media. He's seen a lot of the NFL, how it works. So he's going to have a different
We got to
perspective.
get rid of Yul Brick and then go after Gabriel first. Then I want Queensberry. Got to look at the monkey guy. I like Flo Knees. And maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer.
How is Vrabel Ted's number 3 guy after all that, by the way? I'd like to address that. That makes no sense based on how he's talked about Vrabel. But the question from Dixon's a great one. How much to ban Ted? I'll tell you what. 20 memberships combined from the Asmaniacs, and Ted will go to the hole for the rest of the show. But it's a steep price. But I had to step in there. There was no rumble there. It was too civil. It was too civil. PBM, I thought you were a high energy guy. You should have been attacking.
I didn't want to attack him. I wanted to have a conversation.
No. That's too civil.
That's too civil. All right. Well, anyway, I called in just to say remarks to Keith.
Please do.
And for everybody. So, Keith, I didn't really know him obviously at all. Like I don't know any of you, but I did enjoy his stuff on the show. I actually love when you would show him sleeping. I always thought that was funny.
Oh, I have. Let me see if I've been trying to put together some funny clips to kind of show. I always play like funny stuff at the end for everyone who sticks around. And I just had that clip because it was so funny when he fell asleep on the air.
Yeah, it was awesome. But for everybody, we can get on each other and talk whatever. But at the end of the day, the last time you talked to someone, you don't know if that's going to be the last time you ever see them again. So just keep that in mind. Keep the hate down. And at the end of the day, we're all Jet fans. And, just support the show and support each other.
Did you graduate from Ted U as well, Mike?
No.
Interesting. I'm trying to find this clip for you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I can't find it. This is bothering me. Damn it. I will work on that for you. I know what you... Oh, here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike brought it up. So in honor of Keith Best, let's throw it back to a great moment over the summer. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Best. Hello, Keith. Keith? Hey, Keith. Keith, you familiar with the work of V-Man? Hey, Keith. Everyone smash their Keith Best emoji if you're an Asmaniac. Keith? Wakey. All right. Here's today's poll question. Who was better at falling asleep on the air? V-Man's up next. Hello, V-Man. Come on. V-Man, you up?
Yep. Sorry. Line is right. Line's freaking out. Sorry.
That was the OG of sleeping on the show. Also, I'm worried about Keith Best's neck, man. He's going to be sore. That's a neck strain waiting to happen the way he's knocked out. All right, so Keith is still asleep. Let's go back to the second time B-Man fell asleep on the air. Let's go to this guy right now. V-Man's up next. What's up, V-Man?
Good, Jay. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You sound like you just got up from a nap.
I'm just mad, but no.
You look well rested.
No, honestly, I'm not.
You sure you weren't sleeping?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, but no, I'm just sorry. I honestly, I can tell you right now, I'm just like totally blanking right now.
Amazing. R.I.P. Keith. R.I.P. For those who haven't noticed, too, by the way, I want to give some love to Gator. We added the Keith Best logo. That's the emoji and also on a T-shirt in the merch store to one of the things you see on the screen when you watch the show in the top right. So we'll continue to honor Keith on the show as we go forward. All right, let's get back to your calls. But first, a super chat here from Tyrone. Tyrone, I hope you saw it. You won the Jet surfboard. This is you, Tyrone. Your name. So shoot me a message, an email, where I'm sending it to. I know you're out in Cali, so it's fitting that you won. Calabunga, baby. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to David T, who's next. What's up, David?
Hi, Jake. I'd first like to say that your drawings are legit. I was taught a long time ago, like if we have raffle tickets and we put them in ourselves, you turn the corner. Not unlike the accusation of the Patrick Ewing thing. But you throw the tickets in and it's all legit. You know, you can't help that they stick together sometimes.
There's no frozen envelope theory here with the Jake Asman raffle.
Yep, it's all good, buddy. I just I'm locked in on the general manager. Is his name Dimitrov or
Thomas Dimitrov? Yep.
Yeah, I think I'd said that, but I'm locked in, and I get my heart set on something, and his background and everything. But the thing that scares me is Woody making the decision alone. That's the thing that scares me. But as far as Ted goes, my take on that is he's standing his ground. But if they hire Vrabel, they're going to go to a running game at which he thinks. I mean,
which they should do, by the way. They should run the ball a lot more.
Yeah, obviously the Jets have really good running backs. I don't know why Ted, can't get on board with that, but that's his opinion. I respect that. And is one of his coaches Rex or no?
I think what do you say? Aaron, Glenn, Rex, and then Vrabel.
Yeah. So they bring Rex in, and it's going to go back to ground and pound, isn't it?
I don't know what any of these coaches' offenses are going to be, but if you look at the roster and you're a good coach, I think you'd look at the team and be like, we have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis, and we have an offensive line that will have 4 of its 5 starters intact year over year. Let's get a real offensive line coach, a real coach that is the run game coordinator. That's Keith Carter's role. He's both the O-line coach and the run game coordinator. Let's bring someone in, either 2 people or 1 person that's doing both. That's better, and let's establish the run to protect our 42-year-old quarterback or whoever the quarterback is next year.
Okay, and Jake, I know you like when they bring the fire, but I enjoyed the debate, and I have one more thing to show you.
Oh, Santa Claus David's here. Santa David, let's go.
I was out doing my running around today. I went over to the dollar store. They were out of the old school Santa Claus hats. I took the trek down to Walmart. They were out of the old school ones, and this one was looking me straight in the face, and I thought, you know what? That'd be pretty cool. I can get on Jake's show and promote this.
That is tremendous. You really are Santa. Give us a ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the great David T, a.k.a. Santa. David, baby. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ho, ho, ho.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yellow. That backfired, I guess. I don't really get it. Are you going to me, Jake? I don't know if this is supposed to embarrass me or something, but it's not my show. Right? It really doesn't bother me. Jake, you want me to respond to something or what's up?
Hello, Gary. I am going to kill you because you eat only butter? You need a salad like me.
All right. I wasn't even watching the show. I missed the beginning. I missed the beginning of the show, but I saw Garrett Wilson, the ungrateful bastard, who's disloyal, wanted a trade, and I can't believe that anyone would be surprised by this. Like, that's the shocking part, is that this is not shocking at all. Of course he wants out. I told you there's zero loyalty to this guy. Great football player, hell of a football player, hell of a wide receiver, but you don't want to bring him in. He's got no.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Just remember, Gary doesn't like Garrett Wilson because he committed to Ohio State and not Texas. But I love it. But Gary, great call as always. Tom Ace writes in, is it me or did Gary wear the same jersey yesterday? I think he did. Well, we know Gary is giving Bobby dieting advice. Maybe Bobby is giving Gary fashion advice, such as wear the same outfit every day for at least 3 straight weeks before you change. Perhaps. I don't know. Dorian writes in, did you already speak on the Brees controversy? No, because I don't think there is any Brees controversy unless I missed something. Well, what's the Brees controversy? Gary says I wore a Hofstra shirt yesterday. Did he? Boomtown, we need you to check the tape. Oh my God. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. Tom Ace writes in, that's the Italy jersey, right? Gary, is that the Italy jersey?
It's the Italy jersey. I wore it this morning. Yesterday, I wore a blue Hofstra shirt.
Oh, okay. There's some controversy here now.
You got some weird, obsessed fans trying to memorize what I'm wearing each day. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw Tom Ace going through my mail, hiding in my bushes. There's some weirdos in this chat. No,
Ralphie writes in, did Gary leave Long Island for Texas? How ungrateful. Great point.
I didn't leave. I was taken as a baby. I had nothing to do with it. I was an adult who was offered a scholarship from Texas, which is 11 miles from where I went to high school. That wasn't me. You got Kicker the Dicker, Dicker the Kicker in the chat today. You know Dicker the Kicker, Cameron Dicker?
Yeah.
He went to high school with Garrett Wilson. Did you know that?
Did I know what?
Dicker the Kicker, Cameron Dicker.
Yeah, he's an NFL kicker.
He went to high school. He was a year older, but he went to high school with Garrett Wilson.
Who cares?
And he went to Texas. I'm
great.
Saying.
He's not Garrett Wilson.
Right. One guy's loyal, and the other. Does this surprise you, Jake?
You know, Garrett Wilson grew up in Ohio for part of his life too.
He lived in Ohio when? For as a baby? He went to high school in Texas.
Look it up.
Or why don't you just tell me the answer? You clearly know the
answer. I don't know the specifics. So I'm just saying, look it up. You act like he did something bad anyway.
It's good or bad. It's disloyal. You came to Texas to play football. They got you to where you
honestly,
wanted to go.
I didn't want to share this. I didn't want to share this, but I spoke with Garrett last year about this. You know what he told me?
What did he say?
Ungrateful Texas fans like Gary 3D Boxing is why he chose to go to Ohio State over Texas.
Yeah.
He's like, that guy's weird, man. He's afraid of salad and he eats butter.
I want to address that. Should Arch Manning go back to LSU? Probably. I'm glad he did.
My former radio co-host looked it up. Until he was 12, he lived in Ohio.
Until he was 12. I thought he was from Chicago. He's from Ohio? I thought he was from Chicago.
Also, shout out to Cody Stutes hanging out with the chat right now. Cody, I wish you were on earlier when we had Ted on and some of the other calls today.
I thought Garrett Wilson was from Chicago. Is he
Nate,
from
who
Ohio?
went to Ohio State, says Garrett grew up in a suburb of Columbus until he was 11.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you a question, Gary. Where is Ohio State located? In what town in
Columbus, Ohio, Jake.
So maybe you should take the L on this one.
Where's Lake Travis High School located?
I believe that's in Austin, Texas.
Where's the University of Texas at Austin?
It's in Austin, Texas. So
Would've
he
been a
could have
good
went.
fit.
So he could have went to either one, but he chose to go to the program that at the time was doing way better than Texas was, and has a history of just manufacturing first-round wide receivers.
You make it sound like Texas doesn't produce football players. Like there are plenty of NFL players every year who come out of Texas. He could have been one of them. He was a 5-star. He could have went to school anywhere he wanted to.
Tom Ace gives a Tom Ace makes a good point here. Why didn't Gary go to a Texas school?
I didn't get a scholarship to go to Texas. If I would have went there. I got a scholarship to go to Hofstra, so I went to Hofstra. If University of Texas at Austin would have gave me a scholarship, I would have went there.
Hold on. Cody is not familiar with your work yet. Gary, I'm going to ask you a question. All right, you answer it. What is healthier for you to put in your body? A Caesar salad that you would order at a restaurant, no protein, just a normal Caesar salad, normal amount of dressing,
That's out. What's
or
the other option?
smoking one cigarette. What is better to put in your body every day? A Caesar
None
salad
of
a day
those options are good.
or
I'm
a
not going to
cigarette?
tell either
What's
one.
better?
I'm not gonna
What is
encourage
healthier
either-
for your body?
I'm
Tell
not going to
Cody
encourage
Stoops
anyone to
the
do
answer
either
to the
one of them.
question. Tell the guy that I did 6 years of radio with who's watching the show
We're
from your
not
home
doing
state
either
right
one
now.
of them. Humans weren't meant to eat salads, and humans weren't meant to smoke cigarettes. The answer is neither one. We're not going to get any on what would you rather do: be stabbed to death with paper cuts or drown? And like, we're not doing this.
Cody, you want to hear another great Gary take? Gary famously said he would rather eat gas station pizza than any item from McDonald's, Wendy's, or Burger King. And if you know anything about Cody Stoots, my guy can eat. So he will be laughing accordingly at that take as well from Gary.
You can laugh. I'm on a mission to make America healthy again, and you're seeing it. I'm on a mission from God to make America healthy again, and you're seeing it. It's netting results already. It's one person at a time. There's 350 million people. A lot of them are eating unhealthy. A lot of them are sick. You don't see this in other parts of the world. You see it here.
That has nothing
It's
to
one
do
day
with
at
your
a time.
outrageous fast food take. Hold on, let me just play the hits for Cody here.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
Then we also have this one.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
You want to say what's up to Morgan?
And then finally,
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
That's actually my favorite one. That last, they're all good. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to power rank them, that's number one pound for pound.
Gary writes in, Gary would love the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, fried butter.
I've
You're not wrong.
I've been to the livestock show in Houston. I've been to the rodeo in San Antonio. I've been here, obviously, in Fort Worth. I'm a fan of rodeos.
All right.
Have you guys the rodeo, Jake?
I go all the time. It's my favorite part about Houston.
Went
One of
every
them.
year?
I go every.
Beautiful.
I will be
Beautiful.
going again this year. I plan on it.
You going back to Houston just for the rodeo?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I get free tickets to all the concerts that are there that night.
Yeah, that's good. If there's one in Ohio, you could go meet Garrett Wilson there or something. I'm sure theirs is better anyway. Enjoy the cold and the bland food.
Garrett told me actually last year he was a big fan of the Houston rodeo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a better one in Columbus, Ohio. Why don't you just go there?
Maybe there is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
why don't you go find out, Garrett? Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Here's what I need. Did you mention your nanny is available?
She is. You want to say what's up?
Yes, we put up with enough of your nonsense.
Right,
Please bring on the nanny.
Let me see if I can get her.
All right. Cody, make sure you stick around for this one.
Morgan. Yeah. Can I borrow you for 1 second?
Let's get Morgan's take on Gary's horrific salad cigarette opinion. Here we go. Buckle up, folks.
Zach, you want to go too? They want to say what's up to you real quick. You've got a fan base that wants to say hello to you.
Yeah.
You can just say hello.
Okay, I'll just say hello.
Good.
Oh. Hi.
Morgan, how are you?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's listen in. How do I?
Morgan, how are
Hello?
you? Decker,
Good.
hello.
How are you?
Tell Decker we say
Decker.
hello as well.
Hello.
All right, Morgan, we have a very serious question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. What do you think is healthier to put in your body every day? You can only have this item. You only have two options. You have to have this item every day. You tell me what you think is
Okay.
healthier.
Okay.
A Caesar salad. It's just Caesar salad, normal amount of dressing. There's no protein. Or
Okay.
smoke one cigarette. What do you think is better for your body?
So Gary and I have talked about the plants. So, being influenced by some things he says at times, he suggests the cigarette, which of course sounds bizarre. I agree, because of all the studies of how smoke affects the lungs, but also I guess plants are maybe killing us too nowadays.
Look at Morgan knowing exactly where her bread is buttered, which takes me to my next segue here. What are your thoughts on a diet that consists of eating at least one butter stick a day?
What the carnivore diet does, kind of.
We're actually calling it the Bobby Midnight diet on this show.
Okay, the Bobby Midnight diet. I mean, I always thought butter was really bad. So when I hear like one stick of butter a day, I'm definitely
Stick of
leaning.
butter a day keeps the doctor away.
And a stick of butter a day keeps the doctor away. So, I don't really know. Guess just depends.
All right, couple quick more follow-ups for you here, Morgan. We need your reaction to this.
Okay, so I see. I will say very silly. Very silly. I don't know.
Hold on, one last one, Morgan. One last one. We need you. Come on back. I have more.
I'm trying to answer towards in your favor while also having my opinion.
You don't need to worry about it. I appreciate you, Morgan. I can
Tell
see that
Morgan we
you're
have one
comfortable.
more clip for her. Tell her we have
Morgan, they
one
got
last
one
clip.
more clip for you. They want you to see one more thing.
Oh my gosh.
Bring her back. Gary, this is the highest your Q score has ever been. You might want to keep her around. Morgan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. She needs the headphones to hear this clip. It's very important. So it's been speculated that the reason why Gary feels the way he does about salads is because he's actually deeply afraid of them.
Hello, Gary. I am going to kill you because you eat only butter. You need a salad like me.
I think that was a dream he had, definitely. And he's been afraid ever since. So I agree.
Morgan, excellent job. Great work. Great work. Tremendous. Now that's a great employee right there. She towed that line about as well as one could tell it.
Yeah. She's
like a Nick Shine towing of the line, so to speak.
she's loyal, unlike Garrett Wilson.
Mm.
I would hire her before I hire Garrett Wilson. I'll just say that.
Cody Stutes writes in, I hope she gets a bonus this Christmas.
Of course.
All right, Gary. Well, I think this is one of your more productive calls of late, so well done.
It wasn't until the end, I feel like it was a call that was not going well.
I think you saved it, though. I do think you saved it.
Yeah. They generally do that for me. I appreciate it, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary. Morgan saved the day. I mean, is Morgan eligible for the top 10 in the rankings? I think she might be. I leave that up to the committee. I don't know. Morgan might crack at least honorable mention after that. Kyle Clifton with a super chat. So can Gary choose a school for his own reasons, but Garrett Wilson cannot get bent? Great point. But you know how this works. Trying to use logic with Gary never goes well. PZ Weston writes in, is fried butter a thing? It is at the Houston Rodeo. The Houston Rodeo is the biggest rodeo in the U.S. It's incredible. They have every musical act you could think of each night, headline the conclusion of the rodeo with a concert. So in my 6 years in Houston, I saw basically every country artist you could think of and some random ones like 50 Cent, the Jonas Brothers, Camila Cabello, Cardi B, Panic at the Disco, Chainsmokers, and then I've also seen like George Strait, Cody Johnson, Zach Brown Band, Luke Bryan. I've seen all of them. Chris Stapleton. I don't know if I said him. So the Houston Rodeo is legit. And when you would get media passes with ESPN to go for free, this past year, my media credential was under Cody Stutes Football. So Cody, when I see you in March, I'm expecting the same credential. Lizzo as well. Yes. Oh yeah, she was moving and grooving, baby. She should go on the butter diet too, right, Gary? More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Addison. Hello, Addie.
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
Oh, what an outfit. Happy holidays.
Yeah. I was working earlier. I caught, I felt a little called out that I hardly call into your show, but here I am. I wanted to show my face on the Jake Asman show.
I love
And
it. I love it.
couple things to run by you.
Yes, sir.
Say we don't get the dream guy, Vrabel, to be our coach, and we have to pivot. There's we know there's a lot of coaches in the NFL that are going to get fired going into the off season, like Antonio Pierce, and you keep going, but mostly focus on Antonio Pierce and his staff. He has Marvin Lewis on his staff. He's had some success in the league. He's coached under Spurrier, Billick, and Cowher. He had some bad luck when he was coaching the Bengals and just kept running into Roethlisberger and then Flacco. So would you sit down with him in some sort of capacity, whether to be the head coach or GM or defensive coordinator, because he also was the coordinator for what a lot of us consider to be one of the best defenses of all time, the 2000 Ravens, my bad. So would you sit down with him in some sort of capacity?
Yeah, not as a head coach, but let's say they hired an inexperienced young coach. If you wanted to bring him in to be on the staff to like what Wade Phillips was to Sean McVay, for example, I'm open to something like that. I would never make him the head coach, though. I don't think he's a very good head coach.
Yeah. And one other thing, it's a season of giving, and also rest in peace to Keith Best. We're going to miss his calls, of course, but it's a season of giving. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but one of the other listeners and I made a bet going into the World Series. Chef Kev, the bet was whoever lost, you couldn't wear that team's apparel a full calendar year. So right now at this moment, he can't wear any Yankee stuff until October 30th, 2025.
Oh.
But I want to give him an out. I'm extending an olive branch to you, Chef Kev, but that olive branch is going to have thorns, buddy. You and I will forget about the bet if you call in wearing a Dodger shirt of any kind and a Dodger hat, and I will forget about the bet, and you can start wearing Yankee stuff again.
That's a pretty reasonable bet. That's pretty fair. Because think about it. If Chef Kev goes to a Yankee game, he can't wear Yankee gear. Like, that's it.
Yeah. And I want to squash, there's things that we can squash and forget about.
He said never. Wow, Chef Kevin's going to go the whole year without wearing any Yankee gear? That's tough.
Okay.
That's an out. I would have done that. Now, I'm not
I
Chef
tried.
Kevin, but I tried.
I tried. There's things that we can forget and not throw tomatoes at. And that was one of the things that I wanted to forget about. But hey, Chef Kev, you keep not wearing Yankee stuff for a full year. I try to give you an out, buddy. I still love you. It's all love.
That is a fair counter. I would have taken that if I was Chef Kev, but I'm not one to question Chef Kevin.
Unlike Bobby, I'm not here for blood. I'm a man of peace. He is my host, but I'm a man of peace.
What was your take on the rumble earlier in the show between Bobby and listener David Aaron in Israel?
I was getting ready to call him, but Bobby seemed to have that under control. I was here
Nate
watching
makes
it.
a great point. Give 20 memberships and you're allowed to wear Yankee gear.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Well played, Nate. Man, it was a rumble earlier that felt like we didn't need a rumble.
No, it was. He seemed like he was grasping for something that wasn't there, just to get on the screen with my man Bobby Midnight. But hey, if you have a problem with Bobby, you have a problem with his co-host. And FYI, I'm his co-host. So, David, don't you ever come at my man Bobby again. Don't. Just don't. One word advice. Don't.
Strong. Addy, call in more, man. You're a big time listener of this show, a big time contributor in the chat, the co-host of the Bobby Bindite program. We need you more. We need you on the list, man. I mean, we got to get you in the tournament to make a run.
Well, I'm going to try to do my best to add my name up in that bracket and hopefully go as far as I can. But I know if I meet Bobby or someone like that, I'm done, and I'll be happy to fall to someone like Bobby.
I love it. Addison, you're the man. Appreciate you.
Peace out, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Addison checking in, who I met in person when he was here a couple weeks back to go to his first ever Jet game. And I met him at Alden's the day before. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live, God bless you. Hit the like button. There's still somehow 300 of you guys in here. Appreciate that. Big Rush with a $20 super chat to talk about butter. This is how you know the Jets are 4-10. Butter is healthier than a no nutrient salad. Let's end the discussion. Wow, Big Rush is on the side of Gary here. Unbelievable. Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen. Unbelievable. Chat, what do we think of this? I don't know. But Big Rush, thank you. Your $20 super chat. 5 raffle tickets with your name on it. Oh, by the way, for our next giveaway. Same with you, Matthias and Edward. I will make sure we count that. Every membership gifted or every $20 or more super chat, you get the equivalent of that in raffle tickets. Mickey with a super chat. Rich Cimini just reported Alan Lazard eats a stick of butter before every game. That explains the drop passes. That would explain it. Let's not kid ourselves. That would explain a lot. Here's a live look at Alan Lazard eating butter. Crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. Let's say hello right now to Chris G, who's next. What's up, Chris?
How's it going, Jake?
Chris, you just reminded me of something that someone texted me today that's a frequent listener of the show. My friend Nick, who originally from Long Island, he actually lives in Houston now, but huge Jet fan, sent me a text earlier. He goes, one of my favorite things about your callers is that maybe the smartest ones are 13 or 14. And he was referring to you as the 14-year-old. So, Chris, take it away.
Wow, I'm honored. And to start the show, I was going to give a shout out to you and everything you do, because no other show has 300 people watching this late when we're, what are we, 4 and 10?
4 and 10, yep. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and all the calls, Rob, the Jet fan, Neil, I mean, these are like all great calls always, so it's always so entertaining to watch. Gary.
The as Maniacs make the show. If it wasn't for them, it'd be 10 minutes of me talking about whatever the topic of the day is, and then that'd be it.
Yeah, so I want to start by saying all the Garrett Wilson rumors. I don't really care, and the organization shouldn't care either. If he wants out, just pay him so much money that's impossible to turn down. Like, he has to be here for long term.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, Chris, you're 14. I'd be willing to bet he's probably the best wide receiver you've seen the Jets have in your lifetime.
Yeah, second best is probably Braxton Berrios with all the return touchdowns and stuff. So
that is all that needs to be said.
Yeah, and I was watching Rodgers highlights in Green Bay yesterday, and something I realized is he goes to the tight end so much. So this year in the draft, they should prioritize tight end because he hasn't had any real tight ends to throw to this year with the Jets at all.
Look, they definitely need to improve the tight end room. I'd be the first to admit I thought Rucker would be better than he has been. He hasn't played well. Conklin is just a guy. He's fine. He's a free agent. I still think it was the right move to go Olu over Bowers, and I think the way Olu's played,
100%.
You feel really good about it. But they do need to address tight end. It's a real thing.
Yeah. And for the last point, I mean, with Vrabel here next year, it's the perfect chance to break the playoff drought. And even if you're not even competing for a deep playoff run, just make the wild card, break the drought, and give this organization something to build off for the deep future.
Look, they got some work to do, but there's talent here, Chris, and I want to see them go to the playoffs so you could watch a playoff game for the first time in your lifetime that you remember.
100%. 100%. All right, Jake, thanks for taking the call, man.
Chris, great job. Great call. All right, last chance to get in here. Open phone lines, comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone by the name of Sane Gary. Hello, Sane Gary.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to call in because there keeps being statements made about how Garrett Wilson was upset at the game, and they're reflecting on that. And to me, it was obvious that the reason why he was angry is he's being held. It wasn't anything to do with, oh, I'm pissed off about what coaching's doing or where the direction of the team is. I mean, even during good times of the game, he was talking positively with Aaron Rodgers, and even on plays where he wasn't making a catch. So to me, it didn't have anything to do with him being pissed off about what direction the team's going, or something where he's talking about, oh, I'm gonna leave. It's just he's frustrated. He's playing a game. I mean, if you've played football, if you're being held, you're going to be pissed, man, that's cheating, kind of thing. And so, to me, this is all just getting blown out just because it makes headlines. And so, yeah, that was the only reason I wanted to call in, was to put that on the table.
Yeah, that individual play, he looked pissed by the hold, and then maybe he was upset on the previous play. He wanted the fade instead of the run call. But, like, it's football, man. That happens. And Garrett Wilson cares. He's always been passionate. We've always seen that from him on the sideline. Like, the idea that this means, oh, Garrett's requesting a trade when we don't know who the GM, the coach, or the quarterback is next year, or whether or not he'd be offered a contract extension and take it, because that'd be the logical thing to do. There's just too many factors to even speculate on this. I think it's ridiculous. Yeah,
and to me, and I don't know, I guess everybody's different, but if you're not playing football pissed off, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, it's a physical game. But yeah, anyways, thanks for taking my call.
Well, Gary, I'll tell you what, great call. Have you called before, though? I don't recognize the name or the face.
No, I just watched the show, but felt like a good time to do that first call.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. When you see the normal Gary who calls in with his asinine takes, as a fellow Gary, does that bother you?
No, I respect where he's coming from. He makes some good points sometimes. A lot of times, I definitely disagree with him. He takes some extremes, but he's got some good points. And what's the fun of this if we're not having different viewpoints?
How do you feel about butter?
I mean, what don't you put butter on?
Sane Gary, great answer. Appreciate it. Call back anytime.
I mean,
Now, that was a good call from Sane Gary. First time caller. Chris writes in, yeah, man, I've been loving the show. Going to become a member as soon as I find my debit card. Love that, Chris. Well, turn on gift receipts. Maybe someone will gift you one. And then you may never get one again, because I have no idea how or why some people get them. It's supposed to be based on liking the video, being subscribed, and the algorithm based on how many people watch the show, comment, engage with the audience. But there's some people in the chat that are here all the time, and they can't get a membership, so I don't know. I do know this. For every membership gifted, you get a raffle ticket with your name on it. And if you missed it earlier, we gave away the Super Bowl III photo. That went to Peter Castro, who won it. And the surfboard, which went to Tyrone Garcia, who won that one. So I will send both of these items out this week. And we have more giveaways, including the New York Jet trading card set, which features an autographed Zach Wilson card. No, but actually an Aaron Rodgers, a Kevin Mawai, a CJ Mosley, a Jets John Riggins, a Quinnen Williams, an AVT, and for bonus, a Mike F. and White. Why not? I have much more. Plus a $50 Copper John's gift card. And third place, we'll do a Gusbuster umbrella. So those will be the next three. But we got other stuff too. I have coming right now a signed piece of memorabilia by Curtis Martin. So once I officially get that, I will make sure we share it on the show. New Jersey, the Super Trucker writes in, Kerrygold, Irish garlic, and herb butter rules. Not bad. Look, I like butter. I just don't think Bobby should be eating a butter stick a day in his diet. I think a couple things could be true. There is value in having some butter, but maybe you don't have a stick of butter every day if you're trying to lose weight, and you don't exercise as much as other people do if you're Bobby. But, Nuance and Gary don't ever belong together. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton. He's next on the hotline. What's up, Kyle?
You're getting a lot of mileage out of a whole lot of nonsense today.
You know what? Thank God.
It's 4-10. It's 4-10.
Thank God. Because other people could go away from this team. I need to talk about them every day or I can't pay rent. So we have no choice.
And Gary admitted he didn't watch the beginning of the show and obviously doesn't know how accurate these rumors are. Pretty crazy.
Yep.
A whole big part of this is, even if he did request a trade, what would we ask for?
I mean, if they were even going to entertain it, Kyle, I would not trade him for anything less than what they got for Jamal Adams. I'd start there.
Right. And that's a safety. That's like a less than premium position. I think he's too smart. And I think he realizes that he's going to be stuck here if we really want him. It's not the worst place in the world to be, regardless of how his career has started, because things are probably likely to turn around. And there's a lot of money to be made in this market. It's just a matter of being patient, and you certainly wouldn't want to alienate the fans and the media by doing something rash. If it really comes down to it, and he decides there's someplace he wants to be, yes, of course, he could be surgical about it. I don't think we're quite there yet.
No, and I don't even think he's going to officially request a trade either. I think they got to hire the right coach, and that coach and GM will come in, have a conversation with Garrett, and if they make it clear you're in our future, we want to extend you. You're a leader on this team. I think Garrett's just pissed with losing, like everyone else, but I don't think he's going to be a guy who's going to request a trade. And even if he does, they don't have to trade him. We've seen this how many times in the NFL the last few years. Guys request a trade. They want to get paid. They don't end up getting traded. And Garrett's a guy that is not known to be a diva or a bad teammate or anything. He's not going to hold out. It would cost himself an enormous amount of money. So he's going to be a Jet next year, as long as the Jets want him to be a Jet.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna get a trade offer, bowl us over. We'll listen. We'll listen to anything.
Yeah, if someone's going to offer me 2 1s for Garrett, I'll listen. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Right. All right. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you, Kyle. Good call. Ladies and gentlemen, last chance to get in. Comments, questions, super chats. Just a reminder. This is why the Garrett Wilson stuff is even a conversation. Not an actual report from Cimini in a tweet. A line from his podcast where he spoke to people, not Garrett, but people who know Garrett.
Talk to people in Garrett Wilson's circle. They think, now I want to emphasize this is speculation on their part. They think he will ask for a trade after the season. Again, speculative by people who know him. We don't know that to be a fact.
People who know him. Didn't say his best friend or his mom or his dad. I'm not buying this, man. It's way too premature to have the conversation about a Garrett trade request when the Jets have his rights for 2 more years under contract and the franchise tag, so really 3. So give me a break. Not going to happen. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. The guy who called in there was the one from school the other day, Jake was? Chris? I didn't realize that. David writes in, Jake using his TED U skills to call out someone stirring the pot. Let me say this, David. You stirred the pot today with Bobby Midnight. You did. I don't know if you knew what you were doing, but you did it. You stirred that pot. Rick Kent says anonymous sources are not valid. Well, I would say put your name on it. All right? Show your face. Go play with your kites. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone who yesterday I think won a lot of people over. He decided that he would offer a ticket to his new brother to go to the game with him on Sunday to watch the Jets and the Rams. That, of course, is JJ, who joins us now. Hello, JJ.
You know, me offering my brother BMAC a ticket to the game was very controversial. I made enemies out of Peter Castro. I made enemies out of Dave Verga, and you know, it's shameful because those were guys I looked up to. You know, they're elder statesmen, you know, older Jets fans who've been through a lot, and for some reason they're still with this team. And I used to value them because I'm like, you know, one day I'm gonna be like a Peter Castro or Dave Briga, you know, 70 years old, Jet fan, been a Jet fan all my life, and now look, they hate me because I just wanted to take BMAC to the game. So it's a sad world that we live in, that, you know, your own mentors will turn on you over your love for your brother, you know.
Let me ask you this,
can't.
JJ.
Yes.
Did you hear BMAC's call this morning?
No, I missed it. What did he say?
So I called him out on this because he wasted our time. He basically, I said, hey, you never sent me an email so I could connect you with JJ about the game. And then he ignored me, talked around, and I go, BMAC, I'm not letting you move forward with your point on Peanut Head until you acknowledge what I'm saying to you. And then he wasn't answering, and he basically was like, oh, I can't go to the game. I'm like, why didn't you just say that yesterday? He's like, I didn't want JJ to feel bad. I'm like, just say you have a prior commitment. You couldn't make it. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, you know what it is? When we were kids, he had a tendency to do a lot of things like this. And that's what kind of caused us to have a falling out, because like sometimes I'd be like, hey, do you want to go to the sandbox? And he would just be like, oh, yeah, let's go. And then I would get to the sandbox and he'd be nowhere to be found. So I'm used to it. But at the end of the day, you know, he's my brother. So like I have to forgive him. Like I said, it's just sad that, you know, Dave Briga and Peter Castro want me to choose between, you know, my love for them and my love for my own brother. So but yeah, I'm not surprised that he can't make it to the game. And it's also going to be 14 degrees. And mom always used to say that, like, once it's anything lower than 30, that BMAC's not allowed. He used to get really upset about that. But so it's going to be 14 degrees at the game. So I knew mom wasn't going to let him to the game anyway. So that's fine. But that's pretty much all I had to call in about. Oh, there's a new villain on this show.
Hold on. Dave Briga says, JJ, I don't hate you. You're making a mistake.
Well, Dave Briga said that me and BMAC are two peas in a pod, so that kind of hurt my feelings. That's why I'm thinking. That's why I think he hates me. But all right, now that I know he doesn't hate me,
Dave, call in. Let's make amends right now. There's been too much fighting of late on this show. We got to bring people together. It's the holiday season.
Well, there is somebody I do want to fight with, because this guy he is hilarious. The guy who keeps calling in and saying that he wants Aaron Glenn over Mike Vrabel.
Oh, Ted. Yeah.
Yeah, Ted, right? And here's the funny thing, because I'm known for making crazy takes, but this is beyond anything I've ever said. Why would you want? Sorry, I'm getting another call. Why would you want Aaron Glenn from the Detroit Lions? And the defense is probably the worst part of the team, mind you. It's not like they're known for the defense. The special teams and the offense are better than the defense. So he's probably the worst coordinator on the team. And that's who you want to be the next head coach. Now, all granted, I would hire Aaron Glenn if push came to shove, but he's not my number one pick. Mike Vrabel is a proven head coach in this league, and he got fired for no reason. And it's clear. Look at the Tennessee Titans, how they're doing without him. He overachieved for years with the Tennessee Titans, and that's actually what cost him his job, because he made them think that their roster was better than it was. It wasn't that great of a roster. Corey Davis was on that team. And side note, do you realize how bad Joe Douglas is at evaluating wide receivers? I mean, Corey Davis, he brought over here. Alan Lazard, he brought over here. Denzel Mims, a signing. Elijah Moore. Who else? Who am I forgetting? There's just been so many terrible wide receivers, but that nonetheless, the point is Aaron Glenn is not a better candidate than Mike Vrabel. So I don't know where this guy Ted came from. I think he's just trying to steal me and Alan's thunder by just saying like crazy stuff. But that's wild to me that he thinks that a first-time defensive coordinator going into his head coaching role would be a better pick than Mike Vrabel. I'm still on, but here I'm crazy too, though. I'm not saying that, you know, I want this guy over Mike Vrabel, but a guy who's sliding up my board is Kellen Moore. I like Kellen Moore. I like what he's doing with the offense, and I think he's the next Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan type, where we look back and we're like, wow, this guy is an offensive guru. Look what he's been able to do with the quarterbacks he's been able to do it with. I mean, this guy made Dak Prescott look like an MVP candidate and is making Jalen Hurts play out of his mind. So I like Kellen Moore. I think that, especially if we're going to draft somebody like what's that kid's name, Jalen Milroe or a Cam Ward or somebody of that type, I think you bring in Kellen Moore and they're going to get the most out of that guy.
Dave Brigger writes in, Jake, I'm in a bad location. The call won't be able to connect. JJ, let bygones be bygones.
Dave Brigger, bygones are bygones. Like I said, I look up to you. You're one of my mentors, you and Peter. You guys, been at this for a long time. Like, you guys, I strive to be like you. Everyone asks me like, yo, JJ, you're crazy. Why are you renewing your season tickets? It's because, to be honest with you, when I go to the games, I don't even go to the game to watch us. I go because I like to tailgate and have a fun, good time. And I want to be a 70-year-old Peter Castro, Neil type, just a long time Jets fan. I've actually been unscrewing my chair every week when I go there, so I plan on taking it with me if we ever move from MetLife. So Dave Brigger, I'm working on that. So Dave Brigger, you're my hero.
No,
Peter,
look, you
you're
should
my
have
hero.
told me that on the show. The Jets watch the show.
I mean, they don't know where I sit. Well, they don't know my real name. So, and you know what? To be honest with you, why would they care? The Giants are playing for half of that stadium anyways. So it's a borrowed check.
Now, JJ, here's how you know I like you and consider you a friend. I love money. I'm a capitalist. I'm a capel fish, as Bobby would say. And friend of Bill just offered to pay me $500 to ban you for life, and I would never take that blood money. No way.
Hey, listen. You take that money, Jake, and you send me half of it, okay? All right? Send me half of it, and I'll go away for life. All right?
No, we need you around here. I mean, I need this BMAC JJ brotherhood to really play out now. It's an interesting storyline.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been playing out for 27 years. You guys just didn't know. So, but now that it's out in the open, I mean, now you guys know, man. So, BMAC. I was going to say something, but I'm going to keep it PG. All right. Peace.
JJ, great call. Maybe him and Dave Brigger could come together. Also, JJ, whatever you just did to get good internet on that one, maybe you got a new phone. Keep doing it. Big Islander fan with an Asmaniac super chat. We need a proven commodity. Look what Sean Payton did for the Broncos, and they have less talent than the Jets. Yeah, coaching matters. Look at what Harbaugh's done for the Chargers. There's a lot of examples. The Texans went from the team with the second pick in the draft to in the playoffs last year in 1 year. Sure, they had on Stroud, but they also had better coaching. Right? This year, Stroud hasn't been anywhere near as good, but they're still going to be in the playoffs. D'Amico's proven to be a pretty good coach. Coaching matters. Gator writes in, would JJ be my brother too? JJ, would you be Gator's brother? Rich says, hit the like. Rick Kent says, JJ's a great caller. A number 1 seed. JJ's making a run in March, folks. I don't know. I don't know if he's a 1 seed, but he could get to the Final Four in the right matchup. Look, I don't know if it's going to be as much chalk in the matchups as people think. I meet listeners all the time walking around the city and going to the events we do and games, and you'd be surprised the amount of different callers people bring up to me. It's not always just Bobby or V-Man or Lane or Cheats fan. Yeah, there are some tremendous Asmaniacs that make this show the show. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off of a call from his big bro, we say hello to
B-Mac. Look at my TV. B-Mac. I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
Hey Jake. I didn't watch my big bro's call, but I guarantee it was a great one. So I'm gonna go back.
You didn't watch it though. How do you know?
No. Well, I'm just guaranteeing that that it was a great call. That that he called him. You know what I mean? So, JJ never wrote this points. So, shout out to him, my big brother. So, I do want to Now, Colin, now are you a little like are you a little bit nervous that you remember like every offseason Rodgers with the Packers that he like drags things out to March and or you know what I mean and have everybody speculate. Are you afraid after what he said today that he's gonna do that again?
Not really, because I don't think he has as much leverage as he's had in the past. I think he's gonna wait to see who the Jets hire as their coach and GM. He'll think it over. The Jets' new coach and GM is
Yeah.
going to have to evaluate if they want to go forward with Rodgers. I think what he said today about being open to redoing his contract again in the right circumstances is important. I think he wants to play next year, though. Now, that maybe changes based on how these next 3 weeks go. What if he, suffers a big injury or something? Who knows? Let's just let it play out. I think he wants to play next year, though.
And do you think he gets like this year Sauce been getting a lot of criticism because of his play, but do you think with Rodgers too that that people are comparing him to his prime self, and do you think that when people do that they're gonna be disappointed? So just compare him to the rest of the league right now, and like what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, if you expect him to still be a top 10 quarterback or an MVP level quarterback, he's not that right now, but he's healthy. Maybe he can be. The last 2 weeks, he's looked like a top 10 quarterback. He looked like a top 10 quarterback against New England when he was healthy that night too in the home opener. Like, let's see. Let's see how he looks here. The competition is a step up, and he's in the cold now. He's not in 70 degrees and sunshine these next couple weeks. So let's see. If he looks good against the Rams and the Bills and the Dolphins, there's a conversation about bringing him back, and a lot of his poor play being the ineptitude of the coaching staff and, just the fact that he was coming off the Achilles and he was hurt. He was hurt last year, coming off a serious injury. And as Jay Glazer reported last week, Aaron Rodgers earlier this season was playing through a grade 2 hamstring tear, an MCL sprain, and a high ankle sprain. So we'll see.
Yeah, him and Brett Favre are very similar because Favre played through a lot of injuries too. You know what I mean? Like every single year. And I think that's why he didn't want to sit out, because he wanted to copy Brett Favre, the whole Iron Man streak and all that stuff. And because that's a guy that he's going to be compared to for his entire life, because he sat behind him and then took over and did as good. Or
David
not,
writes in,
better.
how much to banish BMAC from calling for 30 days?
Yeah, you would never. David, you can never banish me for 30 days because Jake is too
I have to
great
think
of a
about
friend
this.
to do that.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be banning you, BMAC. I think I'm a fan of yours. You provide a lot to the show. It's fascinating to me the amount of hate and vitriol that your calls seemingly have produced.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm a hop. No, if me and JJ can make up just like that, then I would be able to make up with a lot of people that have something against me, because I'm not that hard of a guy to get along. I get along with everybody except for Peanut Head, because Peanut Head can't get along with his own family. I bet. So,
Friend of Bill says 500 right now to ban BMAC. A ban seems a little strong, friend of Bill. Man,
come on, friend of Bill. Maybe you need a friend in your life, because it seems like you have no friends. Maybe I can be that friend for you, because I'm not doing nothing egregious to be banned. If anybody should be banned, it should be Peanut Head, because Peanut Head comes in and gives no value to his takes. He just want to negative this, negative that. I guarantee you, if the Jets hire Ben Johnson, he will complain. He will complain, and he will not be happy. Don't let him fool you, thinking that, Ben Johnson is his man, and he love it. No, he won't. You know what I mean? If the Jets got prime Brady, he would still complain about it. So Peanut Head never says nothing positive about it.
We do have to address this heinous hat you keep wearing. Kevin writes in, how much to ban BMAC's hat? I'll tell you what. It's tough, man. I mean, I am tired of seeing it, BMAC. I really am, especially because I was going to send you a winter hat and you still have yet to send me your information. So here's what I'm going to do. 10 memberships gifted and the hat is banned. BMAC, you won't be allowed on if you're wearing that hat. Maybe this will force you to actually go out there and send me your new address so I could send you a winter hat that says Jake Asman Show on it that I've been trying to get you to do for 2 weeks.
Can I say something real quick about the hat? My dad gave me this hat, and he passed away. And my dad.
Now you're gonna make me feel bad, and everyone. Oh, don't play the sympathy card.
No, serious. This used to be my dad's hat, and my dad was tall, so tall that back in the day that they call him because he used to play basketball when he was in high school, and people call him 6'9". A 6'9" was his nickname, so that's how I got this hat from him.
God, look at you trying to make everyone feel
true
sad.
story. True story.
Well, we have the answer to what is the hat. We are sorry for your loss, though, B-Mac. On a serious note.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you can wear the hat.
But
we're not that big of scumbags around these parts. Although I will say, a lot of people seem to not like it.
On?
No, Peanut Head is he's sent to the hole.
Oh God! Thank God! Oh God! Thank God! And I hope he stays there for the rest of his existence because he should not be out.
Well, he's not currently watching the show. He'll be sent to the hole the next time he's tuned in. There was a bounty on his head earlier.
Good. See.
Also,
now
Rick Kent
that's
is
the
calling
guy that
BS
people
on the
need to-
hat story here. Would you like to comment on Rick Kent?
First of all, Nick Kent, you being very disrespectful right there, because you are being disrespectful of one of my dad passing away, and after I told you the story why I got the hat, I got it from him, and before he died, he gave me this hat, and Rick Kent, you being very disrespectful with Rick Kent right there. I don't know what made you say that, but if you gave a story about a personal thing, you don't want to see me come on here saying BS to that. No, I would have respect saying that, I get why he's doing that because he's honoring his lost parent.
Is that a Rey Mysterio hat? Mr. Flowers wanted to know.
Rey Mysterio. I mean, I can make it one. I mean, all I gotta do is poke holes and make it like a mask. I can't do it now because there's no air, so I can't breathe. You know what I mean? I be I can't do that. But yeah, I can make it one. I mean, yeah, because of 619. Yeah, that was Ray's move, a signature move. I used to be a big wrestling fan. I used to watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and back in elementary school.
Ralphie thinks you're a 16 seed in the tournament. Your thoughts?
No, I don't care where I'm at. I just hope I make the tournament. That's it. I just
16
hope,
seed, you'd play a 1 seed. That'd be fascinating if you went up against Bobby Midnight or Charles Gorman or Neil or Lane Train or Gary or whoever is a 1 seed.
Well, those guys are my friends. I would never go up against them because they are my friends, especially Lane Train, but Charles Gorman, is a friend of mine. Bobby Midnight, I got love for him 100%. I just wish he would ditch Peanut Head.
Jay Quest writes in, B-Mac, I can't stand you, but RIP B-Dad, I won't be as mean anymore.
Oh, well, thank you, Jay Quest. Thank you for your sympathy.
Friend of Bill says $1,000 Venmo to ban B-Mac.
Bill, what is your problem?
That's a lot of money, B-Mac. I mean, that's a lot of cash right there.
Yeah, you know what? You know what, Bill? I'll put up $2,000 that you go away and F yourself.
I don't know how that works, but I'm intrigued, B-Mac. Rick Kent writes in, B-Mac, if the story is true, I'm very sorry for your loss. I have been there.
Well, thank you, Rick Kent. See, me and Rick Kent, me and you, Rick Kent, could be friends. We could be two peas in a pod. You know what I mean? If you want to stop coming at my neck for no reason. I think you're getting that from Dave Barriga. stop hanging around Dave too much because his stupidity is getting inside your mind a bit, Rick. So
Nate thinks I should take the money. Nate lives in Manhattan. He's lived in Manhattan his whole life. I'm new to the city as far as living here. He thinks I should take the $1,000, B-Mac. What do you think?
Well, first of all, Nate, I've been to Manhattan before too. Very unique place. No, maybe you're poor, Nate, so maybe he needs it because he's poor, something like that. So he needs 1,000. But if you're gonna get 1,000, get it to ban Peanut Head. Don't get it to ban.
I mean, if someone paid me 1,000 to ban Allen, I'd have to strongly consider that as well. No doubt. A couple memberships here. NY Cursor has gifted a 5 spot of channel memberships. Board Fat in on the membership gifting. Each of you gentlemen will have 5 raffle tickets with your name on it. Here's who got NY Cursor's memberships. Ryan Moss, Kikuchi, David Dean, Sean Wilson, Joe Rano. The following 5 people just received channel memberships from Board Fat. Thank you both for your support as always. Cheeseman, Ricky Ricardo, Michael Pedrogrosa, Lee Van, Brandon Hare, all receiving channel memberships. Well done. We've added 16 new members this show, 16 raffle tickets to get us going for our next giveaway. B-Mac, you want a signed Zach Wilson card?
No, because I'm not a Zach Wilson fan. So no.
I know what you want. You want a Aaron Rodgers, Jets, go Jets.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I saw Andrew. I didn't know Andrew's mom was a big Rodgers guy. I'm Andrew Fiago's mom. That's shocking. So me and her got something common.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to hear. See, not everybody hates Rodgers. You know what I mean? Except for Nick Wright, Connor Carter, Skip, Chris County, Ryan Clark, who called him a fraud last week. Ryan Clark, are you still butthurt about that Super Bowl 14 years ago?
Gator writes in, what's your email?
That's personal and that's a personal.
Why don't you type it right now in the private chat?
All right.
It's astonishing to me that you had people try to send you free tickets, free merch. And I have to strongly consider this offer now. I mean, the bounty price just went up to $1,200 in a Venmo. I mean, YouTube doesn't get a cut of that. I mean, that's big time money right there. Who is Friend of Bill? Friend of Bill, send me $1 on Venmo. So let's see if you're actually for real. All right. You don't even know my Venmo, or do you? Rob V says, how do you not take 1,200? I don't know. J-Quest says 30K would have been fun. Nate writes in, B-Mac has to understand. J-Quest says, take the 1,200. Man, Jay writes in, I'm going to miss you, man. I haven't taken any offer yet. Nate says there's so many shows for B-Mac. That's true. I mean, look, you wouldn't be on this show, but you'd be on the Bobby Midnight show. You could still call him the Boy Green.
Well, I don't know.
Here comes the B-Mac internet. B-Mac?
I'm here, Kisu. Yeah.
King Lowski says, Jake, you better take that damn money.
King Lowski, really, man? Come on, man. About me and Lowski, cool.
they're you know, they're saying to take the money, B-Mac. I'm in a tough spot here. I'm going to run a poll. All right, let's see what the listeners think I should do. I think a poll's fair. Yes.
Who will you go against? Money or do you agree? Carl.
B-Mac, my middle name is Juan Soto. I'm going to the highest bidder, buddy. Should Jake take the $1,200 offer to ban B-Mac? Now, I'll still send you some merch, B-Mac. Don't worry.
So I'm officially banned?
No. We're going to let the audience decide. At least initially here. I need some feedback. The chat's the loudest, but I don't know if they're the people, if they're the majority.
Don't listen to the chat.
Hold on. We got to update the poll. Apparently, it is not 1,200. It's a 1,500 offer. Where did I miss this? Hold on. Let's see. Also, let's see. Where I didn't see this offer for 1,500. Where is this coming from? I didn't see that. B-Mac. Oh, Love Bites added 300. Wow. Okay, so 1,500. Okay, now I get it. All right. Well, let's run it up the poll then. Hold on. Moment of truth here. Start a poll. Should Jake take the $1,500 offer to ban B-Mac from the show? Yes? No. All right, I'm running it up the poll, B-Mac. We'll see what the audience thinks. Jay writes in, free B-Mac, free B-Mac. B-Mac, you don't deserve this. Of course, I voted no.
Thanks to you.
A lot of people are voting right now. There's still 248 people watching live right now. Yes is in the lead, but now it's back to no.
Nervous.
Now, I can't even accept this thing until friend of Bill, you did ask earlier what's my Venmo. It is Jake-Asman. It's the picture of me wearing a Jets jersey, so it won't be hard to figure out if it's me or not. I mean, and then also, who was the listener who threw another 300? How about, what if we do this, B-Mac? If I do take the money, I'll send you $300, so at least you got paid to go away. You got a nice little severance.
I don't want to get paid to go away. I want to keep coming on your show because you are the man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is a very tight boat here, which tells me that I'm leaning towards not banning you, B-Mac, and I'll tell you why. One, I enjoy your presence. Two, as much as I joke at that of me being a capitalist, I would feel guilty. And three, it's close enough where if it was like 90-10 ban you, then it's like, all right, well, the audience is just sick of you. But I think enough people do like you, and I still like you. So I don't think you're going to be banned.
Yeah, take that, friend of Bill. Take that. Now.
57% have spoken no. So I will not take the offer. B-Mac, you will survive. That said, if someone wants to put bounties on you to get rid of you for a show like what happened the other day, that I think is fair. But B-Mac, you survived, man. You survived. We put it to the audience. And you survived. How is Jake? Jake West is saying I rigged it. I didn't rig anything. I just got offered $1,200 and I turned it down. I left it to a vote. You talk about a man with principle, Jake West. That's me.
Friend of Hill, I think needs to be banned. So anybody in chat put up the money to ban him because he tried to ban me.
Oscar says B-Mac gonna sound off. B-Mac, your thoughts on not being banned, that the Asmaniacs bailed you out.
Well, Oh, that's great. Thank you to the Jake as Maniacs. You know what I mean? That's why I would choose y'all first. So, and that's why I will be, I will be a part of the Jake as Maniac too. So, thank you for the people who did not ban.
Brandon says I might be the dumbest person of all time. Yeah, look, I'm being called dumb for not taking $1,200, BMAC. Maybe it was even $1,500. But I left it up to a vote. So here's what I need from you, though. I need you to get better internet, because good God, am I going to regret not taking $1,500 if your calls stink every time with connection?
Yeah, I will be working on the internet. Trust me.
All right.
I will be working on it. I'll find some kind of ayahuasca magic that can get it fixed.
Dark Knight Steve says my kids want mac and cheese every night for dinner.
Yeah, Dark Knight Steve. Thank you. You are the man.
Q says there were a few hanging chads in the ballot box. I know. This was like 2000 Florida all over again, that vote. Unbelievable. By the way,
I would
with
say
a great point. A great preview that voting is going to be incredibly important in March. Assume no automatic outcomes. Look, you gotta vote, people. You gotta vote. Friend of Bill makes a great offer here, though. $200 to ban him for 30 days. That's pretty good. I might have to take him up on that one. There's been BMAC, you must acknowledge there's been a lot of fighting lately that you've been a part of. Do you think maybe it's in the best interest of everyone involved for you to maybe take a break? You can still watch the show, but you just can't call in for 30 days. Do you think that's maybe fair?
No. Yeah, but I love talking to you, though, and getting questions. So, getting you questions. So, I don't, look, I don't start fights with them. It's them starting with me,
Now, friend of Bill, I got to know who friend of Bill is, because this guy cannot stand you, BMAC. Have you thought of this?
I don't know why. Again, he must be a friend of Peanut Head or Dave Rigger. He's probably Dave Rigger's brother or something like that. Or close family relative. Because I don't know what he has against me. So, I don't know. Like I said, if you don't have haters, you're not popping. So,
all right. Well, I'll tell you what, friend of Bill, I'm going to decline the offer for now, but we'll see how the rest of the week goes here. All right.
I will say this. I think people should take it a little easy on Ted from Florida. He seems like a nice guy. So, I know his take's been kind of, dumb lately, but, people deserve a second chance, and I think Ted should.
I also would say this, too. I think this friend of Bill guy, you got to call in so we know you're real, all right? You're offering a lot of money here. We got to know you're
call
real.
in.
Or
Call
send me a Venmo so I know it's legit, at least. It doesn't have to be for $200, but send me $1 so we know it's real. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a guy on the line that's waving, flailing his arms, wants to weigh in on what we just saw. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
VMAC, I wanted to give you my vote, what I voted. I voted yes. I voted yes to ban you.
What?
Bobby,
why?
Voted yes to ban you.
Why, Bobby?
I voted yes. I think they should ban you. Yep, I agree.
Why? Whoa, hold on, man. Now,
it's
this
a free
shocks me more
country.
than anything.
No, it's a free country. I'm allowed to vote.
So you ban me because it's a free country?
Yeah, well, yeah. You just said Jake is the best guy, so you don't come on my show, okay?
Whoa, that doesn't mean
I'm done. I just wanted to tell you,
Bobby,
my
you're still the best guy too, Bobby. There can be more best guys. You know what I mean? Jake's the first best guy. You can be the second best guy. You know what I mean? Bobby. Don't sweat it. It's a helping person. All right, well, I guess I'm here by myself. I guess this is the B-Next show. So I'm taking over guests for I don't know how long. Bobby just killed B-Mac, so we don't. I might come on the show. I might come on the show sometime. Hopefully Bobby can let me on. You know what I mean? I'd be very sad if Bobby let me out of his own talk show. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with Bobby, man. I mean, I thought we were tight.
I'll say this, B-Mac. I've known Bobby Midnight since the very beginning, when he was just a caller to this show before he became a capplefish and star of his own channel. That was probably the meanest thing I've ever seen Bobby Midnight do, ever. That shocked me. That was Bobby really going from Anakin Skywalker as a young whippersnapper to going full Darth Vader. That
Hold on. Has Peanut Head got inside his head?
I think Peanut Head is maybe Darth Sidious and has corrupted him.
Yeah, I think Peanut Head is the evil emperor, and
he's Chancellor Palpatine. I agree.
Bobby, and made Bobby turn to the dark side. So I think that's what happened.
I mean, that was some of the meanest display of anything we've ever seen on the show ever. I am blown away. I just received several texts from listeners of the show.
And how can he be jealous by me saying you are the best guy? Like, are y'all two friends too?
That's unbelievable.
It's not like I said Peanut Head was the best guy.
Dark Knight Steve says, I fully support BMAC, but I love me some Midnight.
Yeah. I mean, me too. You know, well, that's why I was shocked why he want me off the show. You know what I mean?
Purple Belt Mike writes in, my wife just said, I thought this was a Jet show. Yeah, tell her to check the first hour and 10 minutes. Roughly. Man. Shocking turn of events, BMAC. This is a show we'll never forget. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I think this one might go down in the record books as being one of the most surprising shows of all time. But,
BMAC, hang in there, all right? You survived. All right? You survived. Ladies and gentlemen, BMAC.
BMAC. Hey, you hater guy. Alan sucks and JJ can kiss my ass before I wipe.
Super chat from the king himself. Jake, you turned down a lot of Chipotle and a possible date with Sydney Sweeney. Well, if that was offered, King, then that would have been different. All right. I'd ban my mother for a date with Sydney Sweeney. You kidding me? But I don't think that was offered. That said, yeah, I thought it had to be done. You know, BMAC brings a lot to the show, and I wasn't gonna ban him. And then we ran the poll, and the poll spoke for itself. People didn't want to see BMAC banned. If it was 90-10 ban him, it'd be different. But it was 55-45 keep him. Wild. What a turn of events. Dark Knight says, this is like Twilight. Team BMAC or Team Bobby. Bobby went full heel there, though. And there's no way Bobby could ever say he's a nice guy again. What he did there to BMAC, that was up there with anything we've ever seen. Someone said it was like Hulk Hogan going heel. It's very similar. Unbelievable. What a show. Thank you all who watched. Jets will not be trading Garrett Wilson. Don't believe it. Anyway, we're back tomorrow. Not one, but two shows. I'm sure there'll be some rumbles as well. Thank you all for your support as always. Congrats to our two big-time raffle winners, Peter Castro and Tyrone. Well-deserved. We'll start doing more raffles all throughout the month. I ordered a bunch of stuff that will be given away over the next couple of weeks. So, thank you all. Appreciate the support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. I'll talk to you guys next time. Go Jets, everybody. And man, B-Mac, say a prayer, baby, because it's good to be alive. All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to Robert C., who's next. Hello, Robert.
Hi, Jake. How are you?
What's up, Robert? Why do I hear an echo? Oh, God.
Hey, all you freaky ass maniacs. Click the like button and send in your super chats. I'm gonna take a shit on this couch.
Jets got to get things going next week. I mean, they play Pittsburgh and they play New England after that, and probably the week after New England's the bye week. They're going to play Miami twice in December. They've got the Texans. I think they're going to play Jacksonville again. I mean, you all have a good week.
Thank you very much, Robert C. God, that got me.